How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of Outlaws of the Seven.
Oh,
Hello, dude.
Hi.
That new art that you did for the just four people screen, so good. I forgot that you
Thank
had
you.
that, and then I clicked on my own stream, and I was like, ooh.
Thank you. Listen, I don't have any art of Apollyon. I needed to sneak him in there somewhere.
This counts. This
I
counts.
feel like that was a bold-faced lie you just told.
Yeah.
I actually don't have any art for Apollyon. I needed to sneak him in
Sure.
there.
All I'll
Yeah,
say
this'll
is
be-
I
either
genuinely
way, Either
don't.
way, it's very convenient that your cam is covering up where his body would be. Is all I'll say.
Okay. We have some announcements today, mostly regarding scheduling and this series. One of which being that we are going to be cutting it down to 7 episodes instead of 8, because I have scheduling conflicts that I didn't even realize until like last week in the middle of the night.
Ken confirmed
one
he
of those
texted
being,
me at
I'm going to
4
be
a.m.
Yeah, at 4 a.m. his time, I was like, "Hey, when you wake up, I got some stuff to talk to you about." And he was immediately like, "I'm up. What's
was
up?"
up.
I'm like, great. I have conflicts both of the next 2 weeks. One of those things being, I'm going to be at Rose City Comic Con on one of those weekends. That's been scheduled for a while, and I just didn't realize it was the same weekend. So, Rose City Comic Con. If anybody's in the Portland area, I'm going to be up there walking around in cosplay, so you gotta Where's Waldo my ass. Right now we're trying to figure out what we're going to be doing in terms of the final episode, if we're going to be live streaming it on a different platform, if we're going to pre-record it. Well, we can't live stream on a different platform.
Here.
I'm not going to be here. But I'll let Matt handle
Yeah.
it because he's been the one talking so far.
I'll do my best to explain what we're thinking. We're gonna sort of try to nail this down after the episode today. So if there are any changes, we'll post it on the Discords and stuff so that people know. Excuse me. The current plan is that, as Jay said, we're going to be cutting it down to 7 episodes. There is, we're thinking about doing a one-shot in the same world, not directly connected to the story, but a one-shot in the same world that would be run by me to sort of get it back to 8. That is not locked down yet, but that's something I would like to do if everyone else is still open to it. So 8 in the world would still be cool. That's something that you will get info on when we have it locked out. But what we are currently thinking is that we are going to pre-record the final episode, episode 7, and then we will air that same time, same place here. The really only thing that changes for you then, and this is more for people who watch the other stuff on this channel, tomorrow we're not having an episode of Canon Clash. I had someone have a schedule conflict, so it worked out very nicely. What I'm going to do instead is I am going to be essentially rerunning tonight's episode of Outlaws tomorrow, and I'm going to download like the episode that we're recording right now, so you'll hear this again, and then try to upload that, and we're going to make sure that we can run pre-recorded content just as like a baseline to see that we can do that. So if that works out, which you'll see tomorrow, we'll see together because it'll be live, then the finale will be aired normally, again, same time, same place, date a little bit to be determined because we'll have to see if that one shot happens, but point is, should be good. And we will get you the final info on that once we have everything locked down. Is that good? Again, we haven't had a ton of time to discuss this. So to the other Catherine,
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Does that sound accurate? All right, cool.
That sounds about right.
Checks out.
Point is, we're doing our best to minimize the like schedule changes and effect on you guys.
Yes, we're trying to keep it as consistent as possible, while also scrambling behind the scenes. So we're gonna try and figure it out. Who wants to cover last episode? If those are the big announcements that we have.
I haven't done it in a while, so I'll
Awesome.
give it a shot. Also, side announcement, I guess if you're gonna be at Nathan's Boston show tomorrow, I'm probably gonna be there too. Say hello if you see me. Cool. We agree. You've agreed.
If you also,
Keep your
if you
promise.
see Mike there, also tell Nathan do another show in Seattle and fuck you for not doing it this time because I'm currently the only one who can't see him. The dick.
Yes. Actually, no, I can't see him either. If you do see me at one of his shows, it's not me.
Oh my
It's
God.
not me. That's a doppelganger. That's an imposter.
Oh,
Only
shit.
Mike and I
But
are
is that
cool.
because he's not coming to your city, or because
yeah.
you're not getting?
Oh,
Okay,
he's not
all right.
going to. No one comes to Florida. No one in their right mind comes to Florida.
For,
That's fair. That makes sense. Okay.
for a list that will be as long as this recap, nobody's going to Florida these days.
Nobody's going
Exactly.
to Florida.
Exactly.
Speaking of recap, last episode, surprise, surprise, Apollyon's a dick. Hephaestus was basically just a skin suit, and also Otaria, the Catman, is not from the sea, and is in fact a hick and a con man. But none of that really matters, because we were eventually picked up / knocked out / kidnapped and put in a weird void dimension by the horsewoman woman of death, or as we know her, Dorney. And she pointed us in the direction of the next scroll, which Apollyon was also en route to. That brought us to an Indiana Jones little puzzle box, where when we walked in, all of the traps were not set off. But unfortunately, Apollyon got to the scroll first. And then he reset the traps, and we had to get out, and we spent a collective 50 minutes in a room that did not have a puzzle the first time around and barely had a puzzle the second time around, but we still needed God's help to get out of that situation. Oxygen was very sparse in that underground tunnel system. Beau lost her fucking mind. Dorney called her a good girl. And does someone want to tag in to explain where we're going? Because for some reason I never get the bridge at the very end of the episode where we're going next.
So I can jump in on that one.
Excellent.
Where you guys ended up at the very end of last episode is after talking with Dorney and trying to figure out the last location of the last scroll. She sent you in the direction called the Tower of the Fifth. And the last time we saw you guys, you zoomed off on your horses to Beau's house to take a long rest, because you guys spent 50 minutes in a dungeon with no oxygen. If you want to do any sort of conversations or anything concerning what has happened or any interpersonal stuff, now is the time to do it before you guys get into another situation. And otherwise, you're going to take a long rest.
I have a point that I would like to bring up. During our little trap. This is after we zoom off, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess not really during, because that's like some Speed Force nonsense. But afterwards, we're just gonna kind of lean over to Beau. Okay, Beau. Now that we're sort of separate from that whole situation we were just in, were you flirting with Death back there? Was that what I was? I didn't want to bring it up in front of her, but was that what I was?
Beau kind of stiffens up. I do not recall making any particular moves on my personal part. I do remember things happening to me that I do not be able to quite explain at the moment. In true and terrible truth, I was going to have a strategy meeting in my bedroom with my dogs about what the fuck happened back there. But add to my recollection, no, I was most certainly not flirting with Miss Dorney.
That was a really long way to say no, so I'm a little bit suspicious.
Beau, like, takes your attention away from you, just, like, flicking jerky to her dogs, like... almost, you can almost hear the cadence of her going, loves me not, loves me... Stop it!
Alright, that's all I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, do you guys make it to Beau's house with there's nothing in your way? You guys make it to the house. Are you ready to take a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys all pack it in for the night, knowing that you're going to be going to the Tower of the Fifth in the morning. And I am quickly going to roll.
Wait, it's called the Tower of
dice
what?
for you. Tower of the Fifth.
Tower of the Fifth?
Yep. Okay. All of you go to sleep. in the safety of Beau's home. Gigi and Beau, I'm going to need you to take your headphones off.
No.
Ah, fuck.
I just got here.
Is this the first time that I'm getting summoned to one of these?
Yes, it is.
I've initiated them. I think this is my first summoning. That's I'm both excited to be included and terrified that I'm included.
Otaria, you are peacefully asleep on, I'm assuming, Beau's floor. I'm not assuming Beau would give you a bed, considering y'all's relationship.
Maybe if I hadn't stirred the pot about the flirting thing, but I think that ship has sailed.
Maybe. When you open your eyes, though, you see a starless night sky.
Okay. Wait, when you say I see a starless night sky, I'm assuming you don't mean out a window. I'm assuming you mean I am outside.
You are
Okay.
you are laying on your back, looking up, and you see a night sky with no stars.
What in the hell? I kind of pick myself up off the ground. I'm assuming ground and not floor, and just look around for a second.
As you get up, looking down at the ground, it feels like sand, but it is completely black. For as far as the eye can see, it's very similar to Dorney's camp, but in the middle of a fucking void. There is only the moon in the sky, and off on the horizon, you can see a fire, and you can see a white silhouette sitting at the fire.
God damn it, am I dead? This kind of seems... the white silhouette, does it look like Apollyon? I feel like that silhouette would be relatively recognizable.
Yeah, it's him. You can tell it's him.
There is like an awkwardly long moment where I am genuinely considering, like, how long can I sit here before he just gets bored and sends me back? And again, that moment drags on for longer than it should, and longer than it would be entertaining to wait for. So,
Gotcha.
And then he kind of just sighs.
For a concerning amount of time, like 10 straight minutes, you're just staring at
Yes.
him, waiting.
Yeah. And then finally, I take 3 steps forward, wait for another solid 30 seconds, and then go the rest of the way.
Gotcha. Apollyon does not really seem to react as you walk up to the fire with him. You are approaching from his left side. You're not approaching from behind him or in front of him. You're approaching a fire sitting in front of him. He's sitting on a log. You're approaching on his left side, and there is another log on the other side of the fire.
Okay. I'm gonna just awkwardly walk up, take a seat, and then I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds to see if he starts a conversation.
Sitting there, you can see the black star that is his face just staring at this fire. There's no light being reflected on him because obviously he's this white glowing silhouette. But he's noticeably dimmer than you usually see him when you guys encounter him. He's making it so it doesn't hurt to look at him or anything.
Okay.
Kind of like a ring light or a white phone screen or something. He is just glowing sitting in front of you. And after a little while, again, you're waiting.
Yep. I'm terrified.
He is simply sitting, staring there. And then from all angles in your ears, you can tell this voice isn't in your head, but you can hear it from every direction. And your mind is strangely comforted by the sound of the voice. You simply hear, "Why are you fighting me?"
That's a damn good question. See, I don't really look this. I'm assuming you know how I sort of got into this whole grift and all that. It just sort of blundered into it. I was probably gonna just let you do your whole apocalypse thing if you were interested. I mean, I just sort of go with the flow. You stabbed out my eye. Wasn't too particularly happy with that one. So that kind of, I know I'm sort of rambling here. That kind of kept me going on the path for a little bit. But then we met your sister. Sister, was that what it is? And she seems to be making a lot of sense. So I guess it's just sort of because I like her more than I like you, and that's just how I operate. He is like very stiff, clearly still terrified through this whole, just kind of babbling. Like that was intentionally.
Remind me as the DM. Otaria's real name is Rand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Apollyon kind of stone cold staring at you, just not moving at all. You're fidgeting like crazy because you're terrified. Apollyon just kind of looks down at the fire and goes, "Yeah, I'll admit that stabbing you might have been a little much. But if you spend 500 years trapped in a body that actively tried to kill you, you have a little bit of a rage problem. And I apologize for that. That was not your fault. Taking my name, that was your fault. But the anger I felt towards it was not."
In my defense, what little of it I have, it was, I thought it was more of a fairy tale sort of thing. I didn't think I was taking like this whole situation. That I probably would have thought twice about.
I can see your reasoning. He stokes at the fire. He looks back up at you and goes, "You understand that none of this is supposed to be, correct?"
I heard the gist, like this whole sand and water place that we got right now. It's like the product of a half-finished apocalypse in a sense.
You live in a pre-apocalypse that is stretched on for much longer than it is supposed to. Jesus.
Yeah, ominous rumbling in the distance. Don't worry about it.
He stoking the fire again. He says, "You live in a pre-apocalypse that has lasted far longer than it has any right to. You are not supposed to exist as you are now. Nothing around you is. Life where you are is nothing but suffering. You speak of not liking me, and that is why you continue on, but you understand that the only way for this to end is for it to end, right?"
That does make sort of a general type of sense, though maybe this is a dumbass question, but if this ends, is there something after that, or is it just sort of there's just nothing if you do your whole thing?
Unfortunately, that is, how'd you say it, above my pay grade.
That's the most terrifying thing you've said to date.
You can't see his facial expressions, but obviously he is not angry. He is not showing you any sort of malice at all. He's slightly amused. He goes, "Rand, you and I traveled together for much longer than the rest of this party has known each other. As a result of that, I do have some level of affection towards you, as much as my being does not want to permit it. I ask you simply to take this as it comes. I know that you're being dragged along like a man in the current. You have no control over what happens next. I simply ask you to not stop me. Let this happen. End this pain."
Oh boy, that's look, Mr. Apollyon, I guess I should call you. I know you're some sort of celestial being that's, you said above your pay grade, above my pay grade in a sense is what you are. But look at this from my perspective. I mean, that's a wild proposition that you just gave me. I do appreciate the apology about the eye, and I appreciate the candor and with the way you're speaking. But this is all very terrifying. I mean, where even are we right now in this weird black void with you being a beacon of light? It's all very scary. Can I ask for a sort of strange proposition?
What do you need, child?
If you have some sort of grand plan for the death of this world as it's not supposed to be and all that, I mean, I don't have great reason to trust you, which I'm sure, being a somewhat of a reasonable being, you understand. Can you give me back my eye? If you do that, it'll give me more reason to trust you, and I just, as you know, I go with the flow. If I get the eye back, I mean, you'll have no reason to do that otherwise. So just a token, some sort of tangible thing, so I know this wasn't just a nonsense dream in my head.
You see him stare at you, and his head tilts almost imperceivably to the side, and your other eye is flooded with vision.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not expecting that to work. You give me a lot to think about, Festies. Forgive me for calling you that. It just sort of feels right. I can't. It's hard to get over seeing some crawl out of the shriveled corpse of your buddy. I think I understand where you're coming from, and I'll be honest with you. I'm not completely sold yet, but you've made a better point than I'd like to admit, and I'll take it into consideration. He kind of sighs, and then sort of more to himself than anything else, or kind of goes. Not like I can really do much else. Anyway.
You see Apollyon kind of sit up with that. And he looks down at his hands. And he goes, Rand, to your very core, you are what others consider a con man. I do not levy any judgment with that. I am a destroyer. Most people don't enjoy that phrasing either. You, above any of the rest of your compatriots, understand the necessity to cut and run when something does not work out. You pretended to be me for years, until the exact second that denying it was not an option anymore. You know, above anybody, that you are working through a con that has no possibility of succeeding. People here, they enjoy, they have feelings. The synapses in their brain fire off to give them some level of pleasure. Enjoy that while it exists. Get out while there is still a potential to enjoy the last moments of creation. And he sits up and the fucking sky goes white. All of a sudden the sky lights up again and you are awake instantly.
All right, a lot to think about.
And
And
you're back to one eye.
ooh, okay.
Now
that's
that we should call everyone back in.
Boy. I'm gonna shut up if we're calling everybody back in, but a lot
We are calling.
to think about. All right. Did we text people? Or are we just how are we? How are we
I
doing this
texted.
something?
I'm seeing if they're coming back. I don't know if Mike saw it.
They'll arrive. Oh, there's my love.
There we go. Okay. I don't know if Mike saw it. Regardless, one of you are going to have to take your headphones back off again.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I just rolled it again. Gigi and Otaria, take your headphones off.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. This is all right.
Okay. So, Beau, you lay down to go to bed. I'm assuming in your bed. This is your house.
Yeah.
You lay down and close your eyes, and the second that your lids touch, your eyes open back up to a starless sky.
Weather was sleepy as hell, 'cause I fell asleep right when my eyes closed, or I have been summoned.
Sitting up or looking around, you realize you are lying on what feels like sand, but it is pitch black. It's not matte black, it still reflects like sand, but it is completely black. And about 40 feet away from you, there is a fire with 2 logs, and on one of them, there is a white silhouette sitting there.
Hello there.
Do you walk towards it at all, or are you just sitting up where you are and talking with it?
I'll sit up where I am. I'm not gonna approach by it yet, but
Okay. Apollyon's head turns to look at you, but says nothing.
Beau at this point is gonna stand up. So what'll it be then? A temptation in the thrilling final leg of the journey? Join your dark side and relish in an even worse wasteland than we already have? Why am I here?
You blink. And when your eyes open back up, you are sitting on the log in front of Apollyon. You are no longer standing where you were, and he is looking straight at you. Apollyon slightly sits up and says, "Why do you fight me?" And again, you hear this from every angle in the most comforting voice you've ever heard. No matter what that means to Beau.
Unlike my experientially varied companions, my entire life has been fighting. Living on the land you left in squalor, I have had to fight for everything I have, and everything I have is a dingy little shack with a bunch of dogs on the outskirts of town, and I'm proud of what I have. But every tooth and nail I've had has chipped and fallen out trying to maintain it. And now I'm told that not only are you trying to erase all of that, but by defeating you, there might be a chance for, my God, a commodity I have not known since childhood, hope? Of any sense of the word, yes, I'm gonna fight you.
You see Apollyon look back at the fire, and they stand up, and suddenly the fire is your forge, and you're in your workshop with the forge in the center. However, there is no color. Everything is completely black. Same sort of realm. Outside, the sky is still a starless night with black sands everywhere. But in the building, you're in a black version of your workshop. Apollyon goes over to your rack of weapons and puts his hand to them. And he goes, "What do you do when your steel does not cool properly?"
I salvage what I can and chalk it up to a mistake and move on.
And what happens when you forge a weapon that misfires
a dreadfully unavoidable human error, one that I have not avoided. And she holds up her finger with, or her hands, many of which have fingers missing.
Looking at your hand, again, very much unfazed, Apollyon runs their hand over the various blades that you have on your table and goes, "And when a blade is not set and it shatters upon its first contact?"
That hadn't happened since I'm a novice. I think you know it well. You chose one of my guns to take for your own. And when a god is placing some faith in your craftsmanship, I think you can afford not to fret the misfires and the improperly cooled steel.
The forge master of your world was much the same as the novice you once were. He comes and sits on a chair that was not there before, looking at you again. And you see him reach behind him and pull out the rifle that he stole, but it looks much different than when he stole it. It's longer, it has gold embellishing all the way down it. It is fully chrome, there's no wood stock of any kind, and it's covered in what sort of looks like biological filigree. And setting it down beside him, he goes, "I will admit your craftsmanship is exemplary. It makes good bedrock to craft perfection. That is not what I want for this world. I do not want to recraft it into something that I desire. I do not want to take away anything that was. What this is now, the world that you have lived and fought and bled and lost for. It is a draft. It is a draft that has been extended past its lifetime. It is a gun that has not been cooled. It is ammo that has not been sealed. It is a blade that has not been set. I do not ask you not to fight me. I know that non-existence is not something that anybody can agree to. I want you to know, as a compatriot, that I once had. Someone that I once trusted. Someone I once fought beside. I want you to understand my reasoning as more than the cruel end of a villainous plot. My siblings and I were put on this plane for one purpose. That purpose was not completed. The same way that you will fight and bleed and lose more to gain something that you are hard fighting for. That is my entire purpose.
Well, that I am terribly sorry to hear you were dealt such a short end of the stick, because here's a little problem with your analogy. What I forge and work with, metal. And hey, you can believe what you want to believe, but metal don't live. Metal don't need to live. Metal don't have a will. You carve it into something. What you're talking about is life. What you're talking about is me. Now, if a person who has the indecency of working a person like metal can be called a god, then godhood ain't something that can stick around.
You get the impression that they're smiling. Again, no face, but you get the impression that they took some amusement in that. I don't feign any sort of godhood. I am as natural as the breeze. I am the blue of the sky, the orange of the sand. I am nature. This is the world. I am not trying to mold life like you mold metal. I am simply trying to put back a draft that was not meant to be completed. And I get that you will not understand that. But I can only hope that you can understand the attempt. And he stands up, and the sky behind you goes white, and all of the building goes completely white, and you wake up in your bed, staring at the ceiling, and now it is morning.
Feeling that she didn't get a fucking wink of sleep, just that jackass.
All right. I'm going to try and call back everybody else.
I'm back, though. Am I correct in assuming I'm not going to be back for long, depending on how this pattern is
Yes.
gone?
Absolutely. Gigi, it is
Hello.
now your turn. Everybody else, headphones off.
Okay.
Back off
You
they
got
go.
it.
Gigi, depending on where you were in the house when you guys went to bed, I'm assuming that Beau would probably give you a bed considering their affection for you. I would say, as you are fading off to sleep, staring at the wood of the ceiling of Beau's house.
The wood?
It's a wood shack in the middle of the desert.
Ooh, fancy.
At least I'm assuming
Ancient.
that's what Beau's house is.
Ancient.
Yeah. Staring up at the ceiling, the moment that the lids of your eyes touch, you open them back up again to a starless night sky. And you are laying with your back on what feels like sand, but if you look at it, it is completely black. And it is an infinite expanse very similar to Dorney's camp.
Interesting.
About 40 feet away, you see a fire with one log on either side of it, and sitting on one of the logs is a white silhouette.
Do I have my guns?
No.
Of course. So, all right. What do you want from me?
Do you walk towards the silhouette, or are you
I like
just
him.
asking that?
I
as you
feel
sit
like
up?
a solid 60 feet away.
Got it. Okay. You see the silhouette's head turns towards you, and you see the black star face of Apollyon staring at you. But they say nothing.
So I suppose I can just go now.
You see Apollyon look back at the fire, and the second that his face is fully facing the fire, you are sitting on the log opposite him. Just the world has shifted around you. You're sitting exactly on the log, right in front of the fire.
All right, I don't understand why you poofed me all the way over there if you could just do this from the beginning. But if you need to speak, speak.
Why are you fighting, Miss Reish?
Because I'm going to put the world back the way it should be before you try to ruin it. So if that's all you have to say to me, I would like to wake up now.
What do you believe happened?
I believe you tried to destroy it, and now we are living in this hellscape.
If what had been planned had actually gone through, there would be no hellscape.
There would be nothing,
It-
which is arguably worse than this hellscape.
Worse is relative. This exists because somebody got in the way. Because somebody screwed up. They picked the wrong path and continued down it. This is an unfinished draft that has continued in the state it was not supposed to be in for much longer than it should have. You understand that the world that was is buried under everything. There is no going back to that.
And you would just prefer there be nothing at all?
Preference is a mortal concept. I am the same as the animals that used to live, or the trees that used to be. The cacti, the water, the sky, the sand. They have no preference, they have no choice. They simply are. I was put here to do something, and that something was never completed. There is no bringing the world back to how it was. My choice is simply scrapping the draft.
You are just like your sister. You know that, right?
Funnily enough, that is the only time we have ever been compared.
Both of you, just such small thinkers. It's actually quite surprising, because considering how powerful you are, but there's something with the two of you. There's like, you were made for one purpose, and that's all you can think about. It's very one-track minded, don't you think? If you can't do anything outside, if anything falls outside of the realm of what you are made to do, it simply doesn't exist or can't exist by your standards or by your definition, because you physically, or I guess mentally, cannot perceive anything outside of your existence or your purpose or whatever.
Apollyon looks down at his hand and goes, my sister wants this to continue on. Not in the state that it is, but in the state that it could be. Ironically enough, you very much remind me of her.
Is it because I'm the only other lady you know aside from Beau?
No, Miss Reese, you remind me of her because of your optimism.
That's interesting. You don't know your sister very well.
I feel like you don't know her very well. My sister does not want things to continue the way that they are. My sister wants to take this draft that should not exist, and she wants to polish it and polish it and polish it until it resembles something that used to be, or something that could potentially be. She wants to improve this.
That is not at all what she said to my face. It's actually the exact opposite of what she said to my face. Almost like legitimately, if you took every word you just said and put an antonym to it, that's what she said to me.
She accepts what is right now, but wants something else in the future. And right now, she knows that this is not meant to exist. She is, like you said, one-track minded. Right now, the problem is stopping me. And as soon as this is done, the problem changes.
Well, isn't that her whole thing? That's her whole existence purpose. Her thing is to, like, kill everybody, and that's where her job ends. Her job is to usher the dead or whatever, but then that's it. Your job is to unwrite everything, and then that's it.
Out of all of us, my sister was the only one that did not want to be given the job that she had. She does what she does now because that's what she knows, but it is not what she sees as her purpose. She sees it as what she was brought here to do, but she is naive in that right. You are right, my job is to unwrite everything. Her job was to kill the resistance towards it, to lay the groundwork for what is to come. I simply want to know why, like her, you fight what is to come.
Because in every tale I've read for my nearly 200 years of living, it's about people being told they can't, or that doesn't work, that's not how this goes, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And ultimately, doing exactly that, doing the impossible. And I feel like this is no different. You say it's not possible to make the world anew. I'm going to do that.
Apollyon stands up, hands behind his back, sort of fiddling with his fingers, and looks off into the horizon and seems to be contemplating.
Have you tried? Have you tried to make something new and not unwrite it, but just create something?
You seem to believe that I am a god.
I'll take that as a no.
I can change what exists. I cannot change how things are. I was made to conquer. What I can do is conquer.
Ever tried writing with an eraser?
Now you're starting to sound like me. And then the sky goes white, and your eyes open back up, staring at the ceiling again.
Beau! Beau!
We get everybody back.
Yes, everyone needs to come back. Writing with an eraser.
All right, now we got it. You're still muted, Mike. There you go.
Not anymore.
I can see that son of a bitch is staring at his phone. Come on.
Matthew!
Are we back? Am I back?
Everybody's
Still
back.
waiting. Okay. So
All at the same time. At the exact, to the exact second, all of you wake up.
Beau! Beau!
What?
I just had the shittiest dream. And something's telling me it was not a dream at all. And it wasn't a dream. I don't think so. There's no way. I had no control of anything. So Apollyon came to me in a dream and started talking some real bullshit.
shit, that happened to both of y'all too?
Such bullshit.
That was just.
Did you give him shit? I gave him shit. Did you give him shit, Gigi?
I gave him so much shit, I gave him a whole sack of it.
Atta girl. Rand.
See, I wouldn't say I gave him shit per se, but I plan to now.
So I'm going to assume you. Can I get like a vibe check on Rand? Because
Oh,
my
he'll
immediate
keep
thought is
talking.
just like,
If you just he'll keep talking.
oh yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
See, I don't know what he said to y'all, but well, I traveled with him for a while, longer than either of you two did. He knew I was a con man from the start, apparently, and he sort of tried to appeal to that side of me, which, to be fair, is my biggest side. Say that as a con man, I know when to cut and run when a deal goes bad, which is true. It is an important skill for someone in my line of work. But the bastard forgot about another part of the sort of lifestyle that I chose for myself. Once again, I don't know what he said to either of y'all, but one of the first things he said to me was he apologized for stabbing out my eye. Now that caught me off guard. That did get me to take my defenses down a little bit. And so what I did, I think was a reasonable follow-up, was I asked him to fix it. Because I've seen the monstrosity of undo a whole dungeon full of spent traps, set them all back to how they were made. I would assume fixing one eye that he is apologetic for is well within his abilities. It was a reasonable request. I don't know too much, and I've accepted that I am not particularly helpful in a lot of situations, but if there's one thing I learned from being a con man, from being the son of a bitch that I am, it's that pretty apologies and fancy words don't mean shit without actions to back them up, and I'm still missing a goddamn eye.
He can't fix anything. He can only undo shit.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem... I don't know why he thought that would convince me. I mean, it was a reasonable request, but I don't know. What did he say to y'all? You seem even more frustrated about the whole situation than I do, so please, say your piece.
I don't know. Maybe Beau. Maybe he had something different for you, Beau. But I think there's going to be an unrunning theme that all he can do is erase shit. He can't write. He can't fix anything. He can't create anything new. His whole thing is undoing. He can't redo or create.
That might be the case. I suppose it's reasonable.
He said something of a similar timbre to me. He was certainly not trying to convince me to join any sides. I made my position quite clear from the offset. But he did say that he and his siblings were brought into creation for this and only this destruction. Quite similar to what you said about not being erased. And then he tried to play, I don't know, some kind of empathy card where he was saying, please see this as more than just a villainous plot and an evil scheme and then blah, 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 blah. It's my existence. It's why I'm put on the planet. Pfft. I was put on the planet to live. Sorry, it's a difference of opinion, and I wasn't judging you creatively or whatever shit. But I'm certainly not going to stop fighting. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish with me.
Can I just say that I am quite proud of us as a group for giving him a collective middle finger.
I'm vibe checking.
You got there
vibe checking Otaria immediately.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
All right. What is this? Insight? I think this would be insight.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this man bullshitting me? That's a 14.
I mean, I'll tell. He is being completely genuine. He is for once in his life being completely genuine. And well, I don't know if you got a high enough insight for that, but yeah, from what you can tell, he's being genuine.
I close his good eye and I put fingers up. Like, how many fingers am I holding up?
Please be careful. I only got one of those to spare.
How many fingers am I holding up?
I think 2, but I'm not sure if that's...
I'm closing your good eye. You can see.
Oh, wait, closing the... Oh, I misheard.
I can't see. Yeah.
So, wait, closing good... So he can't see. So
he can't see.
Well, that might have just been a guess. Give him another one.
If you close the good... I would reckon between 1 and 5.
All right, try again.
I mean... Gigi, do we have to go through with this? Can
yes!
you get your hands off?
No, you have to do this. How many fingers am I holding up?
He grabs your hand. 3.
I'm not holding up my hand. All right, can't see. Can't see.
No, I
I got my
can't. I
whole
told.
accent there for a bit. Sorry.
Look, y'all want honesty
It
for once in my life?
happens the
If
best
he
of
had
us.
restored my eye, I would have left this house straight up.
That's
didn't
fair.
back up
Honestly,
his
that's
promise.
fair. That's fair.
I do appreciate the honesty.
So can we just, in the future, just keep things away from the one eye that I got?
The one good eye.
Your fingernails are kind of long. I don't want you to accidentally scratch one of those.
That's very rude. I tailor myself accordingly.
Anyway, we should get that other scroll, because fuck this guy. We all agree pretty heartily fuck this guy.
I'm going to say one
so-
thing. I don't know if this got brought up in your little visions. I also don't know if this is something that's even going to matter for our purposes. But he did mention something about this, the nature of this whole business being, and I quote, above his pay grade.
Well,
That was a concerning
interesting.
statement to me personally, because, you know, if you're the boss, you don't have a pay grade.
Well, I don't like how that gels with one of my statements collected.
Oh, God.
But at one point I was talking a little fancy about blah, 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 what makes a god, and he did respond that he is not playing at any kind of godhood. So, for it's terrifying, and I think we can't agree he is quite a little terrifying, as he is, there may in fact be some entity higher than him. So that pay grade comment is very perturbing indeed.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about being above his pay grade, something like that. But he did say he did say I assumed him to be a god. I assumed he was a god, and he had more power than he actually did. So maybe he's like slightly implying he's not as powerful as we think he is. But also it might be he could be just tricking us. He's very shifty.
Ultimately, I don't think we need to worry about. Look, it goes back to what I was saying in the conversation. We can have a multi-step plan, and if there's something we need to deal with after we deal with this bastard, well, we'll probably die. I'm not going to assume that we're that much better than we are, but that's a problem we'll get to when we come to it.
But it did kind of trigger something important having a conversation with him. And what you said, Rand,
Either one's fine.
He can't think of anything outside of his role. He can't, what's the word? Conceive of anything outside of his role. So he thinks or says it's impossible to fix the world because his whole thing is to unmake it. If you try to get him to do anything that is against his role, he says it's impossible because he can't do it. Yes?
That does raise a point into something I wasn't going to bring up because it made me a little bit uncomfortable given the wording that he used. He did say to me personally, since we had been traveling for a while, that though I believe the quote was went against his being or something pretentious like that, he did say that he felt some level of affection for me. And I was uncomfortable with the wording, just to be clear, given the context of Beau and her whole shenanigans with our friend Death. I'm not interested. Maybe I don't need to go into the details of that, but point is that does imply some level of ability to go outside of his role, which is interesting.
I don't necessarily think so, because if his whole role is unmaking things or ruining things, it's very much so in his role to have affection for someone and ultimately destroy that.
That was a concerning thing to say, Gigi. I feel like that's a little worrying for the way that you view sort of relationships, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now.
I'm just saying, if his whole thing is that his whole existence and reason for existence is destroying things, it makes perfect sense to have something and then ultimately destroy it.
And nobody said that's how Gigi sees relationship. Gigi is saying that is how Apollyon views relationships. He has no lands other than a destructive one. Of course.
Oh, you were flirting with Death. Shut up.
What
Shut
I
up.
think Goltaria is trying to say is, I don't know him like he does.
Oh my God,
I
is
feel
that
like
what
we're
you're
getting a
saying?
little bit off in the weeds as to whether this is not what we should be discussing. How far away are we from that scroll? Oh wait, we got super horses. I guess
We
it's
got super
irrelevant.
horses. But the best thing to take away from all this is it might actually be feasible to fix the world. It's just the people that are telling us it can't be done legitimately cannot picture it being done. It's against the nature to do so. We're asking people whose whole reason for existence is to destroy the world how to not do that and to fix it. It's like asking the person that stabbed you how to put you back together again. They don't
Gigi,
fucking know.
I love your philosophical takes on things. I'm not smart enough to understand the exact things that you're trying to get at here, but I do like what you're putting down from what I understand.
It's simple. It's like trying to write an essay with an eraser.
Oh, okay.
Apollyon simply has no capacity for creation, and we likely have to kill him in
Yes.
whatever way we can. Likely not in any meaningful way, but still.
Yeah, I'm fine with killing him. I mean, if that's where this I love how our philosophical discussion just ends up in us just killing him, but I think that was always where it was going to go.
It's where most end.
It really is.
Pop, maybe we should approach this with more guns.
I do agree.
Yes.
That was a great line. Yeah, I do agree. Approaching this with more weaponry in hand does seem like a good idea.
Just all sitting around the table discussing like philosophers. How many guns do we need to kill God?
We have this long philosophical discussion about the nature of these beings whose entire purpose is to unmake, and then just maybe we should approach this with more violence. That's so good. Gigi, that's the first thing you've said that made sense.
I make sense all the time. I just think your intelligence is a little bit too low to understand that.
I think we are having an unprecedented moment of being on the same page, and we should not ruin it. Where them horses?
This man
They're
attempted
all
to sow
out
dissent,
front again.
and he failed so dramatically. All right, yeah, I mean,
All right.
gonna stock up on guns and ammo and go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Beau, are you just like loading your whole fucking arsenal into a bag or something? Like, what's the plan there?
Coin.
Either we succeed or the world's ending. Yes, I am packing every gun.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Gotcha. Loading all of them up into a single
Just
the ammo
swiping
bag
the
of
wall,
holding.
holding.
Yeah,
Getting
everything
Gigi to hold the bag
inside.
open.
Just bringing that and lugging it onto a fucking horse. All right. You get out to
such a
the
philosophical moment that did end with bag of guns, and if that
bag of guns.
if that doesn't sum up this part, we lost Hephaestus and we devolved into the most dumbass band of idiots that D&D
The
has
brain
ever seen.
cell has evacuated. We need to kill.
It's so
Step
good.
six.
Need as many
Pack a
guns
bag
as
of
possible.
guns.
Yes.
Okay. All of the guns that you own are now in a bag of holding. I'm going to just say from now on, if Mike asks for a gun, he has it. That's
Hell
I
yeah.
just realized
it's
we
in
probably
the
can't
bag.
title it "Pack a Bag of Guns."
Yeah, sadly algorithmically. Like, I was super on board for the 2 seconds before I
Yeah.
thought about it.
Someone did
Equip
suggest
your
step 6 get
arsenal?
strapped.
No.
Someone suggested
Get
step 6 get
strapped.
strapped, and
Oh
I
my
like irrelevant. That's where my vote goes.
I
I
think that
love
might
that.
get past the terms and conditions.
I think it would.
potentially.
I think it would.
Okay. All right. You have your ammo bag of holding with every gun you own in it. It is out, hooked up to your horse. Now, does anybody remember if there is a map I remember that.
I remember I looked at one. I don't technically remember
Got
if
it.
we took it, but Rand has at least seen it.
All right, I will say that you have seen it. And again, I'm going to be a bit of a dick here. In fact, I will say that you took it, even if we didn't say it. You have the map.
I remember the bit was that I was looking at it as the flirting was going on. So I
Right.
think I probably still have it.
So, laying out the map. You know what? No, actually, before we start, are y'all getting on your horses? Like, getting ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're kicking off. You're getting to the place.
I take a Dramamine so I don't get
Actually,
nauseous.
I want to remind myself, that's actually a good idea because that did happen last time, but what's the area around this tower like? Is this like near anything that we would recognize, or is this just out in the middle of nowhere?
Actually, that will be addressed.
Great,
Do you
cool.
guys do any of you try and kick off your horse to like get started?
I mean, the reason I ask is because Rand is at least going to look at the map like really quickly again before doing it.
Amazing. Laying out the map, you realize that you were given a map of Asales with no directions on it.
Interesting. Right. And she
So
said we have to go
it's
where?
just the normal map with the tower not
It
marked?
is the map. It is unmarked.
So I'll take-
You get to decide where to go.
Okay.
As a player, my mind went to invisible ink. Oh fuck, we don't have any lemons. No lemons grow
Okay.
anymore.
Right.
Let me narrate for you as the one who has the map what happens here. With the bag of guns and with everybody, as Rand said earlier, giving a collective middle finger to Apollyon, Red kind of charges outside dramatically, a little bit of the Ataria personality creeping back in, like swings onto his horse, whips the map out of his bag, stares at it for a second, goes, fuck.
What's wrong?
There's no goddamn tower on this thing.
What do you mean? Can I
Yeah,
see that?
Here, look. There's a tower over here on the right. There's the prison that we were in. And I'm looking at the actual map here. There's a tower over there, and I assume, I mean, it's unmarked. There ain't nothing else on here. Do I know what that tower on the far right is, Panda?
No.
Okay. Do we think it's that?
Hold on a second. I would like to tap into my extensive history of reading all of these books and shit, and also the fact that we did look at all of like the old world when we were at the mage's place and we saw like that big tower. Can I put two and two together to see if it might be one of like an old building?
I'm gonna say, before you make the check, the Tower of the Fifth is what it was known as after the Dune. It's not written in the history
Okay.
books being
Okay.
called the Tower of the Fifth. So you would not have there's nothing in the books that would have said the Tower of the Fifth is here. And even so, all of the kingdom that you know is under like 5 miles of sand. So there would be no landmarks to place it regardless.
Would I be able to make like a survival check? Knowing the desert decently well, probably looked at a few maps in my day.
I
Yes.
would like to point out something else. Maybe I should wait until Mike does the check. But have we had it confirmed that it's on the desert half?
You have not had it confirmed that it is anywhere. You know it's called
Yeah,
the Tower of the
I
Fifth,
don't
and that it holds the final scroll, and that's it.
All right, I'm just gonna talk to the horses
We'll
and ask
see what
if they
Mike
know.
gets, and then
All
we'll,
right, yeah.
All
move
right,
forward
let's
from there.
cats the speaketh with the animals.
I
Hello.
get my proficiency bonus. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, horses. Do you happen to know where this Tower of the Fifth is?
The what?
The Tower of the Fifth.
Listen, we have like we can know where you need to go, and we can get you there, but like we don't
So if I get on you, you'll just take us to where we need to go. Like, you know where it is, but you don't know, like, you can't read and stuff.
Do you know where it is?
Tawny knows where it is, and she's like your boss, isn't she?
I mean, your gun knows who you want to shoot, but you need to actually point it.
And I'm sure her being the skilled marksman she is, told her guns where to take us, yes?
She tells you where to go, man. We're the wheels.
Okay, so she's not very good at her job, is what I'm hearing.
Gigi, this doesn't sound like it's going incredibly well. You got anything?
I'm working on it, so you're telling me that I need to know where the thing is for you to take us there.
You do need to know where you are riding to, yes.
What would happen if I got on you and I didn't know where I was going? I just knew I had to get somewhere.
We would need to know where you're going.
So you would just stand here until I understood where the location was.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So it hasn't gone terribly well, guys, honestly. They can't take us anywhere if we don't know where that where is. So we have to figure out where this 5th tower is.
Tower of the Fifth.
Like immediately. It truly, you don't even know where it is. You don't get to speak.
What?
On the note of trying to figure it out, I got a 15 on my survival check.
Okay. Looking at the map, like taking the map from both Gigi and Otaria.
Y'all are too tall. Let me see.
That you take the map and you look at it and you realize that there are 5 things on the sand side of this map, and there's only one that isn't marked, and it's a tower.
Well, I have always been a big fan of Occam's razor. So,
Occam's
I
what?
say,
How the fuck am I gonna write that into the lore?
there was some fucking guy who was good at science before the dude, and his name was Occam. There.
He was a cartographer, and his map-making strategy was to just cut the pieces of the map that you knew were wrong off until there was only one part left, and that's probably where you had to go.
Okay, alright, cool,
And in the spirit of Occam, I say we simply try the part that is not marked, as that is most likely the tower we are looking for. Tower of the Fifth thing on the map. Are we in agreement? Well
Yes.
enough anyway.
That's what I said to do first.
Well, now we have a little philosophy behind it, as well as the guns.
All right, please take us to the Tower of the 5th. Thank you, horses.
Okay, but now you all know where that is. We're like
Take-
a general assumption of where you should go.
Take us to what we think
Yes.
at the moment is the Tower of the Fifth.
Gotcha. The second you kick off, boom, you're right in front of this location on the map. What you see is it's not the same sort of endless desert that you see with Dorney's camp, because that's very like flat, like salt flats sort of empty desert. This is you're in the wilderness. There are giant sand dunes everywhere. You are where nobody goes. There's nothing really out here because you're getting to the far edge of where you can't get water anymore. There's no roads out here. There's like a couple of tumbleweeds, but you are in untouched desert. And right in front of you, there is what you can see is a old, decrepit, worn down top of a tower of what obviously used to be like a huge building, but it is worn down by time and sand, and it is maybe 2 stories tall.
Gigi, do the thing. The scroll thing. Is it in there?
Oh, yes,
Do
yes.
the thing.
I cast locate object.
The scroll is indeed inside of this tower. But it is dead center of the tower. Not like in terms of height, but it is dead center, somewhere in the center line of this tower.
And I guess we would have no way to know how deep this tower goes. I figure that's an obvious question. Okay. hope there's not any traps in this one.
And I don't know, like, from history, if there was a super, super tall tower that would be, like, 2 miles tall.
Unfortunately, there is such a... The Kingdom of Asales was so massive that towers like that would not be notable. Or at least notable to an extent that you would have read any specific one. It's like asking, I know this skyscraper, right? We're in Chicago. It is just a building.
Okay, I do have a question on that note, actually, that Momo
Yes.
just sort of reminded me of. We saw in the creepy hair wizard's castle the tower that presumably belonged to Apollyon a long time ago. Can I recognize from the top, is this that tower?
No, but it's in the same architectural style.
No, as in it's not, or no, as in I can't recognize it?
It is not that tower.
That's good. That's good. This is not a home field advantage for Apollyon thing.
But if you give me a perception check while looking at the tower, though.
If that bastard had actually given me my eye back, this would be easier. And I say that and then roll a 9.
9.
Which
Okay.
I needed to get a low roll after saying that. That was my fault karmically.
Yeah. It's really worn down. It's lighter than you would assume a stone tower to be.
Follow-up question. If this is the top 2 stories, what are entrances looking like? Is this a we gotta go in through the windows type situation?
You can see a couple of windows that have like sand like piled up on the sides of them. And presumably it's a tower. There's a door on the top of it.
Well, I don't really want to move forward as much as any of y'all, but should we get going?
No other way to go but forward.
All right, we take the horses. I guess there's no reason not to take the horses like right up to it and then go in. You said there was a door, so I'll go in.
There's a door on the top of the tower. You have to get up to the top of the tower to actually get into that.
Oh,
But
can I?
Again, you are.
Yeah, can I just see if I can acrobatics my way up the old
Sure.
worn down stones?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna use that. I had a thing for one. There it is. Okay, let's see. That's going to be an 18.
18. Yeah, you can climb up the side of it.
All right, cool.
There is obvious worn down footholds that you can get all the way up to the top of the tower.
Anyone wants to come with, they can, or I can just go down a couple stories from here and smash open a window for y'all.
I mean, I guess we'll just wait here. It'll just make it easier for us to enter. Actually, it's
If you're
probably a
offering
bad
to
idea.
do it anyway.
But if there's like some sort of pit of snakes that he might need help to escape, we probably should be there to help. You know, it's
Would
happened
pits of
before.
s-
It's happened before.
But would pits of snakes have been so popular pre-apocalypse
You never know.
that there would be a
You never
second
know.
one?
And to be fair, it was pretty well proven last time that I am most suited for that sort of scenario. I mean, did you see how I climbed up here?
He is correct. He makes a fair point. Those are rare, Gigi. We can let him have it.
All right.
I thought we agreed to be nicer to each other. It wasn't in writing, but it was sort of an informal thing.
Oh, nice-er.
But if you want to do this on your own and possibly fall into a pit of snakes, I will let you do so. And if you are not back in exactly 1 minute, we will then follow you and save you from pit of snakes.
I would maybe say a little bit more than 1 minute, but good
Like
enough for
30
me.
seconds.
I said more, Gigi.
Oh, more than 1 minute.
You got the pointy ears. You can't hear up 2 stories.
Do you think the pointiness of your ears is what makes you hear? You know, go in there. Open up a window for us.
And then I grumbling open up. I guess like a hatch on the top. I open it and
Yeah. Okay. As you drop into the building, you fall into a pit of snake. No, I'm kidding. You open up the hatch and you fall down. There's like a ladder that leads up to the hatch that you opened. I'm assuming you jump down,
Yeah.
land on the rocks. It is pitch black in here. No, nothing.
Well, wait, I have dark vision. Hold on, I'm fine.
Okay, great. All right,
there was
cool.
a half second where I was worried. I have dark vision. Okay, yeah. What do I see?
All right, so
60 feet,
you
I
can
believe.
see. Okay, great. Yeah, around you there is
You say snakes.
stone wall. No, there's not snakes. There are stone walls lining the entire top of this tower right here. Mostly, you see ancient bows and arrows like lining the walls up here. This is
Okay. This is like an archer's nest
no,
for
you wouldn't
defense
need
of the tower, I can assume. Okay.
Yeah, basically. And there is one stairwell that leads downward.
All right, I'm gonna... Actually, okay. I'm gonna perception check to see if I can hear anything from below. I don't assume there's gonna be anything, but we heard traps before. I just want to be safe. Can I perception check for audio?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I guess smell, too. I'm a lion man. I probably have a better sense of smell. Anyway, 16.
16. All right. You can't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like dropping into an empty cave. Smell-wise, this building is filled with stale, hot air.
Got it. Okay.
You're in the middle of a giant stone tower in the center of a desert that's been buried for 500 years. This is not air people are supposed to be breathing in, but there's not enough moisture here for like rust or anything to build.
So it's not good, but nothing unexpected.
Nothing unexpectedly bad. You are basically dungeon crawling right now.
And then I'm gonna, if there's only one stairwell, I'm gonna slowly enough so that I don't run into anything, go down the stairwell. I am gonna assume that if this is an archer tower, there's probably not gonna be traps leading up to the archer tower. So for what it's worth, I will say I'm not like actively looking out for traps. If that's a mistake on my part, it's in character.
That is fair. As you descend, you start to smell a few more things. Not in terms of like, you can't smell like gunpowder or anything, but the air is slightly rancid the deeper that you get into the tower. And I want you to give me a quick history check.
Well, it's just a D20. No. It's not it's not a nat 1, but it is a 2.
A 2. Great. Otaria, where are Gigi and Beau in relation to where you are?
I remember,
and I'm going to answer for you. You don't know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go down and, like, because there were windows, so I'm just gonna go down and see if I see, like, I'm gonna look for the next floor that has any level of light. I'm assuming it's gonna be, like, very dim light, because these windows are not gonna be clean, but it's gonna be more than nothing.
Okay. So you get down one floor, and you can see that you're in somewhat of a hallway that leads all the way down. Doors on both sides. There's at least like 5 or 6 doors on both sides of you as it leads down this hallway. And under one of the doors on the very end, you can see a slight little bit of light peering out from under the door.
I'm gonna go open it.
Gotcha. You go in and you are in a living quarters. This is obviously where like an archer would be living. There's a bed in the corner that's made out of hay that is very long since gone dry, and all of the commodities around you. It's very desolate for this period in history that you've seen, because you saw what the city looked like. This is very much more run down than that. But there is a small, very thin window on the outside wall.
Small, very thin, big enough for my party members to get through if needed?
No, I'm saying thin enough for you to maybe stick an arm out. Like this is a peephole that's like maybe 2 feet tall.
Then I'm gonna go down another floor. Actually, I will say this: if I can, stick an arm out, how far above the ground am I now?
If you look out through the porthole, you are about maybe 20 feet from the ground. You are
Okay.
like maybe up a story and a half.
Okay, one more floor then. And one more
Yeah,
floor down.
Okay. So you go down one more floor, and the walls are lined with suits of armor that go all the way down to the other side. They line from light, like somewhat leather studded looking armor, which, come to think of it, you probably wouldn't have seen much leather.
Yeah.
Actually, some like studded leather armor that goes continuously down until you see very heavy suits of knight's armor at the very, very end. None too regal, but all of them are sort of that like whitewash chrome metal with filigree accents that go all the way down.
Same bit, I'm going to look for a window.
Got it. You see a window at the very end, same size, same style window.
This time I'm going to look out and see if I can... I'm going to call for Gigi and Beau to at least, like, talk to them through this.
Gotcha. You are, like, maybe 5 feet from the ground where you are right now.
Okay. Beau! Gigi, get over here!
So what do you like about her? Like, she's mysterious, isn't she? But, like... What else?
I don't want to say it. It sounds extremely corny.
Is it because she's like a really good marksman?
Just you can tell the character of a person by the way they handle a gun. And the fact that she made her own, and made it with such artistry and handles it with such expertise. Oh my God. And yes, she is very mysterious on top of that. And she called me a cookie. Gigi, what am I like grabbing you by the shirt? What am I supposed to do about that?
Yes, Otaria.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I was getting the vapors.
Get over here!
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You guys approach, and it is maybe like half a foot wide by 2 feet tall. It is a very thin, sliced window.
I don't know if you expect us to fit through this hole, or you're gonna like bust through the solid rock.
No, that was what I was calling y'all over here to say. You're gonna have to get up on the roof. There doesn't seem to be a good entrance anywhere above the stand. This place is weird though. It's fancy. They got it's like they got clothes made out of old cow skin. Gross.
That's leather.
What?
It's called leather, and it will be worth a fortune here.
It's old skin. Why is it worth a fortune?
Because they had enough extra skin from animals to make a damn chair.
If they had so
Very
much
good.
extra to make chairs, why is it valuable?
Because you don't
My
have.
jerky is made of man, Rand.
Get up on the roof.
My jerky is made of man.
Get up on the goddamn roof. Hold up. Now hold on. Beau,
Taking the
like
term
you to
man-eater
repeat-
to a whole nother level.
I'd like you to repeat what you just said.
Oh,
The leather's very fucking valuable because it's probably from a time when they had.
Part.
Would Beau know what a cow is?
No. None of you would
Okay.
probably
I
know what a cow
absolutely
is.
would know from my
Gigi
books
would know.
what a cow
Yeah.
is.
Gigi would know because she's lived through this shit. Like,
Okay, so it's back from a time when they had what's a big
Cow.
a big animal, a cows.
Oh, you know
Cows?
damn well that wasn't what I was asking you to repeat.
So anyway, how are we supposed to get through this window?
I told you to go up on the roof.
I'll try carrying you.
If you want to try it, I'm certainly not jumping up there.
I will try my best. All right,
Give me a
okay.
strength check.
So I'm going to cast enhance ability on myself, and I'm going to use
Okay.
bull strength. The target has
All right.
advantage on strength checks and has in his or her carrying capacity doubles.
All right. I don't really do carrying capacity in this, but give me your advantage strength check.
I'm not going to roll my physical dice anymore because I have consistently rolled so low. So a strength check. All right. Would you consider this to be like an athletics thing, since I'm going to have to carry her and do this stuff?
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'd say
that's a
Atari's.
plus
That makes
one
sense.
at least. All right.
Woo, that's
that
something.
was a 5 on the first roll. And I can
Oh,
roll better
lordy.
than that, surely. I can. That's a 14.
Okay. It's a little hard, but you can do it.
Like huff and puff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You got this. You got this.
strong like a
Beau
bull.
is carrying her entire arsenal, so it does make sense.
Guts. I'll go up to meet them as this is happening.
Beau's encouraging you by whispering shit like, I owe you the front row seats to my internal monologue and feelings for the rest of time. You got this.
All right, got this. Whew.
All right, you make it to the roof, and you can meet Ataria up there. Like it's just a hatch on the ceiling.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Pop that baby open.
gotcha. All right, jumping down into it. Gigi, you are probably going to be way more mystified by this because this is essentially tomb crawling. You're jumping into pure history. Right
I'm picking up bows and arrows and putting them on the coin purse.
Gotcha. Okay. Making it through the first room. Do all of you have dark vision, or is it
Yeah.
just Gigi and Otaria?
I have it.
I
No, I have
believe
dark
all of us,
vision.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're a cave dwarf, so that makes sense. So descending down one flight of stairs again, you are now in a giant armory, same way that Otaria was, filled with suits of armor that line the walls that go all the way back.
Can I tell if any of these armor are like magical in nature?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
All right, Arcana. Your Arcana is good. Let's go, Gigi. That is, god damn it, an 8.
You were
8.
so supportive too.
You're so supportive. Yeah, that sure is armor. It's fancy. Some of it is, but not too fancy. But it is. That sure is armor. I will say, if everybody wants to, go ahead and give me a perception check. Looking around this.
Ouch.
I can
That's
roll good
a 9
once.
again.
Wow, that's a 28.
Okay.
That's from the way you said wow, I was expecting
Because I
low.
said I didn't get it for the magical armor.
Fair.
Bo, did you do you want to look around, or are you just going with the flow?
I'll take a look-see around. No reason not to.
As everyone's looking, Rand takes some of the leather armor, which is probably too small for him, and kind of like awkwardly puts it on. Like,
Very
yes,
much
look,
too smart for you.
I'm an ancient warrior. I have armor made of skin.
Okay, I'm gonna just give some flavor to this right now. This is like medium-sized armor on a 7-foot tall
Oh,
lion.
he's doing this as a bit.
So-
He's not doing this
Yeah.
seriously at all.
He's like stretching the ties on the
Yeah.
shoulders to be able to get
This
the
is
thing
worth.
on.
This is worth a lot of money. I put more in the coin purse.
Oh, yes, my skin armor is very good and very valuable, and you can sell it for lots of precious gold and metals.
Okay, Rand, you're doing a bit, but that is literally true.
It's skin! How in the hell is it possibly... Rand does not understand this concept at all. Like,
Nothing.
the idea that this is somehow valuable, not registering.
Okay.
Can I roll to try? Sorry, can I roll to try to fit a whole fucking chair in the coin purse? Because it is worth money. So might as
sure,
well try.
Fuck. What do I have to you roll for?
Luck check.
Trying to fit a chair
yeah.
in a coin purse. That feels like a luck check, if anything.
Sure. Let's roll a flat luck check real here.
Ah, yes, my favorite D&D roll, default.
Default.
That was a 7.
That's a 7. You try and cram it into this bag, but it like the majority of it is still sticking out of your bag. And fuck.
I think it's just like the angle. It's just not going to work.
Okay, if only. You pocketed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I will also like to remind both Beau and Otaria, Gigi, this probably doesn't register as much because you're still new to this. there is a shit ton of metal armor here.
That's why Ren thinks the skin. It's weird that everyone is making a big deal out of the leather.
Yeah,
like, there's so
you
much
are surrounded.
Why are you paying attention to the old
Oh,
skin?
right.
I'm also
There's so
putting
much
the
armor
metal
made
ones
of
in
money.
there. I'm also putting the metal armor in here, but it's just a novelty to have like authentic leather armor.
It is, but I am a blacksmith as well, and Beau like pockets a full set of armor if she can find one.
And you can't melt down any of these for like magic bullets or any of these magic.
Y'all asking me? I don't know shit. Can I do an Arcana
That's
check
what
with my
magic
no
is.
Yeah, that
intelligence?
sounds like an Arcana check.
Can I do an Arcana check? Just
Sure,
for the-
yeah, you can do an
just
Arcana
for the
check.
fun of it. 12. Better than
12.
Gigi.
No, none of these are particularly magical. At least not that you can tell.
Maybe we can get more of this on the way out. Gigi, how far down is that scroll?
I will say, Gigi, with your 28 perception check, this place is really squalid in comparison to what it looked like from the wizard's tower. Like the interior of this, not nice looking. The very, very obviously that this is not, a lot of money isn't being put towards the interior of this. In comparison to like the shining white limestone buildings with the gold filigree on the outside of it. The interior of this place is stone. Just stone. It looks like a classic like D&D Skyrim dungeon.
Oh no, was this a prison?
There's a shit ton of armor everywhere. I'll give it to you with 28. This doesn't look like a prison. This just looks like squalid ass living quarters for these guards.
Well, maybe this wasn't the good place of the building. Maybe we can find a better place in here that's not so dingy.
I mean, if the top part's gonna be this dingy,
It's
I
just a
wouldn't get your
good.
hopes up.
There's just a good chance that this is where the less fortunate lived and the richer people lived elsewhere. Possibly in the same
It would be
tower.
It is a real kick in the head to give someone that many stairs to climb to where they live and to make it be squalid as well. It tracks, but it sucks.
That is a good point. I mean, logically, the rich people wouldn't want to walk to their quarters, so maybe they were at the bottom, and then the poor people had to be at the top.
All right. Are you descending anymore? Are you looking around?
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Going down another layer, you seem to be in what looks like possibly a kitchen. There is a lot of wooden tables everywhere. There's like kitchen knives on the wall. There's an oven in the corner. There's like cauldrons around to be able to wash things in. This is where they were cooking the food for this place. However, again, doesn't look nice. Everything's kind of just put together, and notably, you can't see any ventilation in here.
Okay, wait, hold on. Are there any bodies anywhere? I feel like that would have been mentioned if there were, but I just
Skeletons.
No.
Okay.
There's no bodies that you can see. However, Otaria, the stench that you were getting is the strongest here.
Maybe this is dumb, but I would like to know where that smell is coming from. Really quick, I'm gonna is there like a pantry or anything that I can see if it's just full of like rotting food and maybe it's
Various.
Okay, all right. So I assume that interaction kind of goes as open door, immediately closed door.
This isn't
God,
this isn't like a don't open dead inside scenario, right?
Guess you're gonna have to open and find out.
They're dead open inside.
I mean, if it is food, it is technically dead.
True.
This is fair.
And if it is rotting,
So, Otaria, you go around, you like open things to find food.
I want to see if
it
that's
is food.
I'm not looking for food as much as I'm trying to figure out if that's where the smell is coming from.
Gotcha. Opening pantries, there is indeed like almost turned to sand food here and there. And then there is also incredibly moldy like bread and meat rations, but they're not degraded to the level that the natural foods are, like the vegetables and the fruits that are almost completely turned to dust at this point. Which, by the way, you recognize none of the fruits and veggies, Otaria, because why would you?
I was gonna ask if it's like, is this just like super salt preserved food? And I thought about that for 2 seconds and then realized I definitely wouldn't know what that is, so that question becomes irrelevant. But yeah, with that question answered, I'm ready to keep descending if anyone else wants to look at more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You descend one more floor. And you appear to be in another sleeping area, but now you're like 4 floors down. You're definitely underground at this point.
Yeah.
It looks almost identical to the sleeping area above you.
All right. Maybe this was just a tower for poor people.
A tower for poor people.
Yes.
Okay.
Like all of them?
Like maybe there was just a nicer tower for, like, where my family used to live before we fled to the sea.
If there's one thing I know about poor people, is that they love their towers. So sure, Gigi.
Descending down yet another...
We are losing oxygen a lot faster in here. God damn.
Damn. Descending down yet another floor. This is again another armory, but it's a little bit picked through. And you can see at the very, very end what looks like a skeleton slumped against the wall.
Oh, I knew we were going to find one of those eventually.
Is there a note written here?
Give me a perception check. If you're going up to check the body.
I will go check it as well.
Me as well.
15.
Perception.
15.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Skeleton.
So that was 23.
Score.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gigi, Beau, Otaria, you all absolutely pass. Beau, you get the best view out of all of this. Looking at the skeleton, it's not wearing very old clothes. Like, it maybe looks like it's maybe 30 years old. And in its hand, there is, like, a note that has been scratched into with something, because you can't see pen and ink anywhere.
Okay, question of world building question. Does this world have anything resembling pencils in function? And if
Yes.
okay, if we can find that, I feel like it is within my con man rogue ability. Like, I know thieves can't. Can we do the thing where we like do the pencil rubbing to get the scratching on the
There's
paper?
something. It's not etched into the paper. There's something written on the paper, but there's nothing around that could have made.
It's
any
probably
sort of dark
written
marks
in
on it.
blood.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
I misunderstood. I thought you meant that there was. Okay, I
No.
misunderstood the question. All right, never mind.
I'd
Overthink.
like to gingerly get the letter. If need be, damaging the skeleton before we damage the paper.
Gotcha. As you pull the paper away, the skeleton's hand kind of just falls apart. As you pull the paper out of its hands, you can see that it's written on like an old book page. On the back, there is writing that you can't understand. It's very similar to the books that Gigi was given from the wizard. Text that nobody fucking knows. But on the other side, there is writing that you can read. It simply just says, "So thirsty, thought it was safe. Help."
So thirsty, thought it was safe. Help.
See, the first part of that was something I was expecting, but the second part was That's the concerning line there. Is there, after hearing thought it was safe, does this skeleton have any broken bones?
Yes. You can see that its left leg is completely shattered. And across the front of it, there is a massive cut down the clothing of the skeleton.
Oh, okay. Actually, I have a stupid question here, but this is one of those things where character background might come in handy. As someone who, as a lion swordsman, has experience with both swords and claws, was this made by a sword or some sort of animal? I feel like that's within my knowledge.
Incredibly easy perception check, but give me a perception check.
Okay. That's going to be a 16.
16? That is a sword. And a big one.
Big one. Okay.
I mean, we need someone with a very
more
large
concerning. That's actually more concerning, because if it was an animal, the claws and shattered leg makes sense. But someone with a big sword who's also strong enough to fully shatter bone?
I mean, we knew someone like that, but you killed them, as you have reminded us every single day since you did it.
Well, maybe I can do it again.
I am personally fixated on the so thirsty part of the letter, considering, the major apocalyptic event, what happened to our world. I get a bad feeling this letter might be from that event.
Didn't you say this was like 30 years ago, though, Panda?
Mm.
I don't think
This
it. I
is
think
not-
it's yeah.
this
I think
is not
it's
an old
more
body.
recent than that.
This
And it's
is-
not an
this
old
is-
body.
Yeah, the clothing looks like something you would see somebody in town wearing. Obviously, someone who hasn't made new clothing, but like, this is a button-down shirt and a vest, and there is a hat laying beside it. Like, this is not a like squire or some old bowman or something. This is a dude. This is just some dude.
Got it. In that case, we are way out where water is not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then surely this happened when that might have happened, because I don't know who would find themselves way out here looking for any kind of water or thinking they would.
I've had another investigative thought.
Okay.
The leg bone is shattered, right?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually. Is the whole leg present here? What I'm trying to get at, and I realize after I said it that like this probably doesn't make a lot of sense with how bodies decay. But I'm trying to figure out if like this guy was smashed to bits here or was smashed to bits somewhere else and then like crawled here.
Hmm.
And the more I think about it, the less I think I would actually be able to
I don't think you'd be able to know that,
Yeah.
but the leg is there.
How high do I have to roll to get that Batman vision recreate the crime scene with this skeleton?
Perfect
Yeah.
nat 20 investigation
Okay.
with disadvantage. That's gotta be.
I would like to intimidate the
I'm
corpse
getting a
to see
vision.
how we got here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, you got necromancy.
I
you're the most
Who do you
likely-
work for? Is there any more with you?
It would take me an hour to like.
Where is he?
Actually, I can't even do anything for this guy because he's been dead 30 years. I would have to speak with dead. I am just going to. Is he like lying against a door?
A wall. He's in the very far corner of the room. And again, this is a sleeping area, the same as you've seen. This is at the end of the hallway. He's not in any particular room. It's at the very end of the hallway that these rooms were in.
Okay, I think it to get us not stuck in one dungeon room for half an hour again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else we're gonna get off this body.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
So I think we gotta. I guess okay. Actually, one more question. Did this body have any items on him? Not a loot the body situation, but I just want to know what we're dealing with. And then
I can tell you the things that this body does not have on him, because looking at him long enough, you'd be able to tell.
okay.
This body does not have a gun belt, or shoes. This person is wearing
Shoes.
Clothing that had been that is very old, that you can already tell, potentially even older than that, but does not have any sort of items on him that like a bounty hunter or something would have.
Would
or
I
a regular?
would I be able to tell if this person was a monk of some sort?
He's definitely not a monk. He's still wearing like old Westy clothes. Like it's not.
Listen, you said no weapons. I'm just like, maybe he fought with his fists like a monk.
Well, I think there might have been
Definitely.
taken as well. That's the other possibility. I don't know, but I mean, with that, I'm ready to keep heading down. Actually, how far below us is the scroll at this point?
You still got a good couple of floors. I've instituted a rule for a little while now that find object isn't as precise as, like, you can see exactly the object right there. It's like a glowing. It's below you.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to know if it was like 10 floors down or like.
I was
right
more
below
saying
us.
that for the audience.
Okay.
It's not as like super precise as it could be. It's still like generally in the center line and below you.
Cool. All right, I'm ready to go down.
Complex. I don't know how to speak. Words are hard. It's a complex compass.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it points you in the general right direction. Kind of like, I think Matt said it a while ago. It's like a video game compass that you see it at the top of your screen. It's like, it's that way. Go that way.
It's that way. No, actually, it's this way. You went too far.
That way. You went too far. Look up. Look down. It's
Oh no! See, it's like it's like on the cliff under. Yeah, you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
All right, cool.
As you are going down, give me a perception check, everybody.
So many of these. Dirty 20.
Need to see.
Dirty 20.
Perception.
11.
11.
All right.
Okay.
27.
Okay. Otaria. The air feels different.
Different.
Mm-hmm.
By which you mean?
Gigi. You can see moss in the corners of the stairs as you're getting lower.
Oh my god! I scoop it up with my hands, just like.
What are you doing with that?
Ew,
What is that green?
ew,
What's
ew,
that green
is that
stuff? Is
mold?
that
Are
mold?
you scoop mold? Don't scoop mold. Ew.
Don't touch that.
It's moss. It's like
What?
it's like wet grass.
What? That's mold. That's mold.
No, it's moss.
How's grass growing on the wall? There's no dirt.
It grows
Moss?
in like damp places, so there should be like water. What you're feeling is moisture.
Oh shit.
Actually, yeah. Wait, I've lived in the desert and on the sea. Is that what's happening here? From the.
The air being different
Yeah.
feels slightly familiar.
Oh shit, Gigi, you might be right. I'm not about the moss. I don't know what that's about, but
this
the
is-
moisture in the air.
It grows in moist places.
There's only a
Wow.
very small amount of it, and it's kind of dried out, but that is moss, definitely.
So I think this person came here in search of water, but I feel like might be something wrong with it.
It's suspicious that fellow up there said he was thirsty right before there was moisture in the air. That's a worrying combination. If he was thirsty and then there's water.
I would keep an eye out. I would be very hypervigilant in this moment.
Yeah.
But this is so special. I'm going to keep a little bit of it in my pocket.
We'll keep a tab on that because moisture certainly does not necessarily mean water.
Yeah,
And I don't like the tableau we're making right now with the information we have.
it's just sort of green stuff. I still don't trust it.
As you go down another floor, you see the doors on the living quarters that you are walking into as you keep descending. A couple of them are open, and there are like makeshift tents on the inside of a couple of them, and more bodies.
Are they decayed
What's
skeletons?
the state of the body?
Skeletons. They're all still skeletons. but they're in varying states of decomposition in terms of being skeletons. Some of them are maybe 30 years old. A couple of them look ancient. None of them are in like exactly the sort of clothing that you're finding around as you're going down. Like this isn't clothing from the era, other than a couple of them are wearing very informally some of the things that you would find around. There are dead fires around, and if you're looking for it, there is a little bit more moss around here. But these are still bodies around.
I know that this is a trap specifically for me, and I am going to walk into it. Okay.
Oh, no.
I love the character work.
You see, I know you're playing me.
I know this is a trap.
But you're right.
It will not stop me from walking into it.
Gigi gets the M and it stands for moss.
Is the moss
Okay.
growing on the bodies or just around? Just for the sake of my visualization of what Gigi's doing right
The
now.
older ones have some moss on them. But otherwise it's kind of just around. And it's not like this place is overflowing with moss. It's more the way you would see a like lakeside stone building that has moss growing on a couple.
But still more than we've ever seen, I would take it, so.
Yes.
Gigi, don't
anything is more than you see.
exactly. Don't touch that.
Why
We
not?
don't-
It's greenery. I've never seen or touched greenery in my life.
Have you touched mold?
Well, yes, but so I know this isn't mold. This isn't mold. This is moss. It's different. It's better.
What if, and I'm just spitballing here, what if that's going to like coalesce into a man like the rat guy did?
I feel like something in the recesses of my mind feels like that's been done before and it wouldn't happen twice, right?
Hey,
I'm not entirely
Hey.
following the line of think. Look,
That is
If we're-
the
if we're
the
going
most.
by
I'm not
that logic-
metagaming. It's not metagaming. It's different.
look,
It's a
my
good
whole-
joke.
my
It's
whole
not
thing is I'm
metagaming.
ripping
It's
off-
a good joke.
I'm ripping off somebody from the past. That's my whole thing. So I don't believe that's entirely accurate.
But also, there's no harm in moss. It's just grass, but grows in deep, wet places.
Does grass grow on human bones?
No, not typically, but technically it could. It kind of
I
grows
feel like
where
I'm
there's
learning a lot of
nutrients.
things that I'd rather not want to learn right now. I'm gonna slowly back away from Gigi and start looking at these bodies to see if they have any evidence of damage, like combat damage, as the last one did.
Most of them do not. One or two of the
Oh,
ones
no.
in the hallways.
I'm in danger.
One or two of the ones in the hallways have like, again, broken bones. One person has they're leaned up against the wall, but their spine's in two pieces instead of in one. And
Now, see, that's supposed to be one bit.
however, in the rooms, most of the bodies that you see in the rooms are in cots or in beds, kind of laying there.
Interesting. Like, a lot of these?
You see about 6 bodies in here. 4 of them are in the beds.
Okay, so 4 bodies dying in their sleep is too many to be a coincidence.
And none of them are covered in moss.
A couple of
suppose
them
that's
are
true.
indeed covered in moss.
Oh.
Just adding a correction onto that. That's not. There are a couple of bodies that have some. They're not like coated in it, but like they've been there for a while. Moss is coalescing on them.
I don't think I've seen enough
I wanna-
evidence to say that this moss is bad yet.
Can I get another perception check?
What a horrible time to ask that, Panda. What an awful time to ask
Might as well
that
ask
from
for a
everyone.
perception check after someone says, "What could possibly go wrong?"
11. I'm loving that range of rolls
That's
today.
24.
24.
16.
Gigi, right after you say that, I'm not seeing any evidence. You realize you're using your dark vision less as you're getting deeper.
Meaning I'm not able to see anymore? Or I'm able to see
Speaking of
even
No,
more?
no, no.
brighter. Yeah.
Meaning that it is brighter. Dark vision, I'm going off of classic D&D dark vision where it's like black and white.
Oh.
You can see some color the deeper that you go.
Anyone else seeing color, or are we hallucinating because of lack of oxygen again?
I'm seeing a little bit, I think. And I say that moss does seem a bit more green.
Is it glowing?
That would be a question for Panda. Is it the moss that's doing that? Okay.
Everything around you seems to have slightly more color the deeper that you go.
Okay.
I mean, we would not know. The moss is green, yes. Rand and I would not know the moss is green, so it is likely not the lack of oxygen making us hallucinate.
Right. Well, it seems like we should just keep going and figure out what this source of color is. Or how we're suddenly able to see color in darkness. Why is it not dark on the ground anymore?
Yeah.
Well, I hope we find a light source, otherwise this is thoroughly bad, I am sure.
I think even the light source is bad at this point underground.
Are we getting
Not
closer to
unreasonable.
the scroll?
You are.
Going and getting to the brighter part. Oh, interesting.
Down we
You
go.
can feel you are like maybe 2 stories away from it.
Well,
Down we go then.
All right. You go down one more stairwell, and you are in what seems like a training room. Like it's mostly emptied out in the center. There are some like training wooden weapons on the walls. They're very much aged to time. They're dried out. If you tried to train with these, they would shatter at this point. But on the back wall, there is a massive mural that wraps around the entire wall.
Okay.
Where you can see Apollyon as the king, not in his angel form, but a very old-looking king in white armor with a golden bird on his chest, standing in the center of it holding up a sword. And on both sides of him, you can see both the CEO and Viseria dressed in old-timey clothing. And from there, on the sides, there is depictions of terrible war on both sides of it. Massive murals of the slaughtering of nations that wrap around the entire room. And this room is rather bright.
from
Yeah, I was about to say, can we tell where the light is coming from?
No.
Aw,
It feels
man.
ambient.
interesting. So it seems like the walls, or like the paint itself, might be magic.
That's concerning, to say the least. Especially since some sort of enchantment lasted this long. I think it's got a keeper.
I doubt it, honestly.
Give me another perception check.
You need to stop saying these things.
My timing is immaculate.
7!
I got a nat 1. I'm fucking freaked the fuck out about this light shit, man. I can't think or
A
see.
13?
13. Momo, it is very faint.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really make it out too much. But if you were to hazard a guess, under you, you can hear the ever so slight sound of running water.
Ew.
I-
No.
I feel like running water under maybe perhaps if we go down one floor we can see the source, but that doesn't. Maybe should kind of hold a tick on the carnage of this room. This doesn't sound any bit familiar from the history books I've read, does it?
The mural
Yeah.
on the wall? No. In the history books?
Yeah.
Apollyon as the king wasn't a conqueror. He was a savior. He united everybody through diplomacy and everything. He was a generous, noble ruler that brought people in through diplomacy and bargaining.
And if I don't know if there's any sort of luck check I could do to peel off a little bit of the paint to see if it's ancient paint or if this is someone painted this in the last 30 years.
I won't even fuck. Give me a perception check for that, or an investigation. Actually,
Investigation makes more sense. Yeah, that's a 9.
9. That paint looks old.
Something's telling me this is. I don't think this is this isn't from the history book, so this isn't ancient history. I think this might have been one of these more recent settlers down here might have painted this or created this sort of mural in sort of a frenzy. Or something painted this recently, I want to say. It's old, but this isn't
Anyone
historic.
else want to give a perception check or an investigation
I'll give
check?
an investigation. Well,
I'll do the
it's,
same.
11. But I'm assuming, well, we'll see.
That's a 21.
That's
for the
21.
investigation.
Otaria, you go and feel it, and it feels very, very old. Beau, you go and try and scratch some of it off. There is no paint under this. This is an ancient mural, just about as old as the rocks around it.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna kind of reach a hand over, a very large hand, and sort of put it on Gigi's shoulder. Gigi, remember Festes?
Yes.
You know how he lied to us?
Uh-huh.
I think that's happening again, in a sense. There's your history books. It's not. History books don't seem most accurate, given the primary source on the wall here.
But that doesn't make any sense. All of my text is as old as this technically is.
Gigi, give me a history check.
History check. I'm gonna keep with my digital dice. 16?
16. All of your history books, or at least most of them, were written by Hephaestus, who is the king's right hand.
Interesting. So, I know essentially nothing.
We know a little bit more now than you did. I gesture at the bloody murals.
The giant mural
Now,
of dead bodies.
Now, Gigi, I don't mean to, I suppose, radicalize you, but have you ever been halfway through doing something you know you shouldn't do, but you were maybe convinced by a very gung-ho friend and confidant to do it, but then you realize we shouldn't be doing this, and you try to undo it, and you can't completely undo it, and it's a little messy? Instead of stealing cookies from a cookie jar, Hephaestus did that with murder on a mass scale, I think.
Oh.
That is not
So
a remarkably accurate metaphor for what it was.
So this is
Between what he's told us and how history works, I'm pretty sure this is the intersection.
I mean, yeah.
So this is how it was? But we saw a little bit of how it was with the mage.
That was most likely magic of the mage's doing.
I'm gonna.
And
bring
also,
up
nobody said that big
once
war
again.
didn't make good times for the few.
Fair.
I hate to bring this up again. I don't know why we are trusting what we got from the mage who was made out of hair.
He was very nice.
I seem to be the only one who was concerned by that whole situation.
It was a very helpful mage. A little off-putting, but very helpful.
I'm sorry, are you saying that the amount of hair an individual has makes them more or less trustworthy?
I see where you're going with this.
Think of it. No, I see where you're going with this as well, Gigi.
Shut up, God! I got this.
Think of it less about the amount of hair and more the ratio of hair to not hair.
I'm going to hold your hand as I say this. You have about the same ratio of hair to not hair as that mage.
I definitively do not.
That is very true. He does not.
That is an objectively incorrect
You're
statement.
covered in hair. You are
was made
covered
of
in
it.
it. Absolutely covered in it. You just have longer hair in some parts, but like head to toe covered in hair.
I suppose, in fairness, the mage's limbs were not covered in hair, and also I feel like we are diving headfirst in semantics while we are at like a pivotal discovery of world history.
To uncover our internal monologues here a little bit, I do think all of us are downright terrified to go see what that water's all about. So we might be sort of making up excuses to stay on this floor.
There's
Well,
no
my
chance
fear-
that it's like a river of blood. That would be ridiculous.
I wasn't
I
even
think there is a
thinking
high
that.
chance that our skeleton friend with the letter also heard the sound of Russian water and believed it to be Russian water, and then ended up a skeleton.
Interesting. Yes, I see that. So, from this mural, what can we get from this scene? It's just a war with these people that we have recognized before. But someone that is obviously missing is not Dorney. Dorney's not there, correct?
That
Dorney
is
is not
good
in the
point,
mural.
actually.
So at that,
Dorney is not in the mural. If you want to give me a investigation check on the actual mural itself, I'll tell you how much you're able to actually glean
I would like to
from
do
it.
that. Yes, thank you.
I'd like to
Investigation.
do the same if that's okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Rand does, so I will not metagame, and I will
I don't
not.
think Rand cares.
No, I will.
Rand thinks he's got this shit figured out. He's like, yeah, bad guy. I don't give a fuck. That's
I pretended to be this guy, and maybe I would have done a better job. Better job. Whatever.
A 14.
better down. 14. All right. Gigi, you can there is no Dorney here. 2, you can see that the armies of the fallen that extend from both sides of the mural get older and older the farther out in the mural that it goes. And behind all of them, you can see another depiction of this giant golden falcon that is encompassing all of these, for lack of a better term, conquered opponents.
Okay. And Beau, you said you also wanted to do some sort of investigation on it?
Yes, but I am not an art critic. I got an 8.
8. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking dead bodies on this thing.
So,
Shit, that must have taken a lot of time. That's a lot of bodies.
so who did we
Dr.
get the information from? We got the information from Dorney that it was some noble son that like opened the first scroll, right?
Yeah.
Do we have any reason to believe she was lying to us?
Nothing on this mural contradicts anything she said.
Okay.
'Cause I think like she had said like, oh no, it was just like some noble son that like opened it.
What she said was that the noble son opened the first scroll and that Apollyon took the form of the slain king. And
Was it-
then ruled from
yeah.
that.
So if I would like to try to put 2 and 2 together, that the idiot son opened the scroll, eventually became said slain king.
You can make that assumption. I won't say it's correct.
It won't say it's incorrect.
I don't know if that's the lesson you should be taking from that, but okay.
I'm beginning to think that the start of the apocalypse was possibly way, way farther back than, like, the Dune.
As in, like, moments of hubris and greed set it into motion, or like there was another apocalyptic event?
Possibly a little bit of both of that. I think that the apocalypse, I think the apocalypse has been like going on for like a long time, like not just the Dune time, but I think like a long time. I think that whatever we're seeing here is like the pre-production of the apocalypse.
A trial run of the world we know today.
Not even a trial run, just like legitimately the preparation for the apocalypse. The Dune was like supposed to be like the hey apocalypse, but then something stopped it. And I think that something stopping the finale of the apocalypse, so to speak, was Hephaestus.
That would track with what other information we have been given on the matter.
And this, we're not overlooking this golden falcon. Yes.
Well, that's
Falcon was the guy I was impersonating, or at least that was part of the guy. It was the guy that Apollyon was impersonating that I ended up There's been a lot of impersonating around this man.
Are you sure that this is not their boss?
It could be.
I will note for everyone involved, Apollyon's king name, the name that Otaria was using, is Falcon King of the Light.
Yeah.
So, no reason to think that the light in this room is coming from said falcon, yes?
Ah, fuck.
It was. Yeah, that would make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Makes a lot of damn sense. God damn it.
I don't know why I didn't think. I mean, I knew at least a little bit about this man when I was named. I don't know why I didn't come to that conclusion earlier.
Shall we travel on?
I think we should. I think we should get going. I think we should get going.
Let's just get into the shit.
It literally feels like I have all the pieces of the puzzle and I don't know what I'm looking at.
Kinda.
It's like, yes, the puzzle is completed. What the fuck is it? What is it? I don't know what I'm looking at.
You've been given basically
a pond in a forest. Why is this an MCS you're painting?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are going down?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You descend one flight of stairs again, and you encounter two gigantic wooden doors that are sealed in the middle.
Wait! Before we go down anymore, I want to look for some sort of like sign, some like the artist usually like puts their signature someplace. I want to look for that.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
On the mural.
You can see it, but it's again in the same language as the rest of the books. You don't know what it says.
Never mind. I'm going back down to meet everyone else.
Back down.
So
as you approach the wooden door, the sounds of liquid get louder. It sounds like water falling from a high place down into a lower area. You can see on the ground that there are scratch marks where this door has been opened. So it's not like it's been permanently sealed, but there is scratch marks going out to the side. I will also say, as you are descending, not only is there more moss, but also there are more bodies the farther down you go.
Right. It jigs up.
But they are more braced up against the wall, holding parts of their body that you can see. Like these are bodies that have been killed in comparison to have died. And not on the door, but on the floor in front of one of the doors, you see a very, very old piece of paper.
Picking that up.
Okay. In text, that looks like it was written in the style of the text you don't know how to read, but in the language you do know how to read. It's written in Common, but written very strangely.
Doesn't say don't touch the moss, does it?
Well, if you look down to read it, it's kind of hard to parse out, but you are able to read it. It says, "My name is Hephaestus. Sealed inside this tower is something that no one should ever find again. Venture in at your own risk, and for the sake of everything alive, do not take anything."
I put the moss back.
If that's being read aloud, I look right at Gigi, and then as she does that, I just nod slowly.
I also take out all of the leather. And all
Yeah,
the
we start
metal
digging for all the
armor.
shit like,
I didn't take anything. I'm blameless in this scenario.
man, we are very lucky we read that note.
I said, don't take anything.
If you look harder at the piece of paper, there's a little area at the top that has obviously been torn, and on the door you can see like a railway spike has been hammered into the thing that has the other piece of the paper on it. So obviously this paper's been ripped off the wall for people to look at.
Right.
I don't like any of this. Shall we get going?
Honestly, the real Hephaestus was also a killjoy. It's crazy.
At least the demon one was a little bit more fun, at least until he stabbed me in the eye.
I wonder if he really played Parcheesi.
Where did Apollyon, the risen Falcon King, horseman of the apocalypse, learn Parcheesi anyway?
Man's been alive for 500 years. Who knows? Maybe he invented it.
Right.
Well,
so
we procrastinated long enough in that floor above us. I'm just gonna, and then I just shove the doors open. Yep.
Okay. I think as they open the doors, that is a perfect time to take our bath.
I do
Hurrah!
think that is probably a
Bathroom.
perfect time to do that.
2.5
Yes.
hours in. Nobody go anywhere. We will be back as soon as we can.
Yes, we will.
Thank you all for watching so far. Let's see how it goes from here. All right, everybody.
We're back.
I got fired for making a cheesy joke in break.
Was
so
that
I'll
a
see y'all
double? Was
later.
that a double pun? Because the pun you made had to do with cheese. Was that are you double fired now, Mike?
I mean, that was gonna just be for you, but you had to go and say shit. But
I did. Mike is double fired.
Oh lordy. Well, we'll officially get rid of him after the episode then. So just let's continue on with him for at least the fight.
Confirming there's
All
a
right.
fight. I see.
All right. Last we saw, they threw open the doors that they could hear rushing water from, and they tossed aside Hephaestus' note. Popping open the door. This room is fully lit, just like it is outside. In the center, there is a stone walkway that leads to a stone circle in the middle. However, completely surrounding the walls and behind this circle in the center, there is greenery. Trees, bushes, vines, leaves that completely encircle this bottom room. And that is because in between the circle and the walls, there is seemingly a moat of water. And water pouring from the walls into said moat.
I've just had a realization. Thinking about from the perspective of someone who has lived in like a dry, barren desert or just on the water, this probably looks, even if it's very beautiful by our standards, scary as shit. Like all of the plants and stuff like twisting and growing everywhere. Like this is probably terrifying if you've never seen any of it before.
I didn't know it was
Probably.
that bad in Texas. God damn.
Fair. Yeah.
That's
My
fair.
parents
That's
live
a
in
good one.
Amarillo,
That's a
so
good
yes, but
So completely surrounded on all sides by greenery You can see like pollen in the air. You can see, notably, bugs, butterflies crawling in the greenery on the sides. This seems like its own self-sustaining ecosystem in here.
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life.
This is the most terrifying place I've ever seen in my life.
This is thoroughly fucked.
Can I talk to the butterflies and the caterpillars?
Are you gonna try to?
I'm gonna try.
Silence.
It's a static
Can't hear
thing
anything
again.
from them. Kinda.
Oh, that's bad.
The last thing you notice in this room is a giant set of armor standing in the center of the circle.
Not telling me that the scroll's in the armor, is it?
Is what not telling you what?
The locator compass spell.
The compass thing says it's in this room.
I like point it towards the armor. Like, is it getting warmer? Older?
Yeah,
Warm?
it's somewhere in the center of this room.
You know, I just had a thought that for some reason didn't occur to me till now. Do y'all think that the scroll is counted as anything for the purposes of not taking?
I think it's the number one thing, actually.
Yeah, I would assume.
Oh, but that's not fair.
Nothing is moving outside of like the bugs and butterflies and moss and everything. Not moss, pollen and such in the air. As you guys are standing here, the water is running again. This is just an ecosystem. For all you know, that's a statue in the center.
I doubt that on a personal level, but you know.
It's not like it has a sword.
It does indeed have
Yeah,
a very large sword.
Why?
This is the second time. This is
Again?
the second time that Gigi has done that.
I mean, it's because the thing we're looking
Clearly
for
couldn't
that
get any
killed
worse.
our dear friend upstairs was something very large with a very large sword, and then we thought it was safe, and he was very thirsty, and there's water and a very large statue with an incredibly large sword. It's kind of put two and two together, and you get four.
I'm gonna.
Can
try...
I get
Oh, go ahead.
an investigation check on this suit of armor so you guys can better see what you guys are seeing here?
Oh, 16. Wow, that's
16.
not bad for
That's good
investigation
enough.
by my standards.
That's good enough.
I think I'm going to use my
Um,
passive investigation because I'm just like putting two and two together. That's a 17.
Yeah, this armor in the center, pristine. Like, it does not look old like the rest of the armor. It does not look like it is worn down. This is pristine armor. However, it's in the same style as the ancient armors you've passed on the way down here. It is nearly white in terms of color, with gold filigree covering the entire thing. To give roughly the size of this being, its hand would be the size of a normal person's head.
Ooh.
And the best description I can give for this sword is a double-sided buster sword. It doesn't like extend one and the other. It is blades on each side, point at the front. This is a buster sword it is holding in between its hands. This thing is huge. This is a bruiser of a suit with a giant sword.
I'm gonna poke it in the helmet with Mage Hand.
Okay. Poking it. It doesn't move. But
I'm gonna poke it a little bit harder to see if it like tips or the helmet like wobbles a little bit.
this thing's heavy as shit, so
Okay.
it doesn't move. It doesn't like tip or anything.
Yeah.
But you can tap it and nothing really happens. Notably, Otaria, The suit has that sort of Warhammer style suit, the same as yours is.
That I did notice that. There was a very brief thought that went through my head as a player, and therefore also Ataria's head of, can I wear this armor, which was very, very brief as I realized this armor's probably real, and thus I do not have the strength score.
Yeah.
So...
Otaria, you're sort of a rogue, yes? Go get your little sneak attack surprise round on the thing that definitely killed our friend upstairs.
Someone's been playing Baldur's Gate. That is the exact strategy everyone uses. I know for a goddamn fact.
Well,
Gigi reads a lot of adventure books. It's popular
A
there
lot.
too.
This was written in.
You're a rogue, and sneak attack's a bonus action. It's fine.
Yes, this is one of Hephaestus' greatest jousts. He would go and has to do a little sneak attack thing.
I mean,
I don't really see much else of a better option. Knowing that this is probably going to end up in a fight, having accepted that from the first moment he saw like the shattered leg bones a few floors up, I will walk up to it. I will cast Booming Blade and just smack it.
Okay.
Might as well. I'm not. He's had a day. He's had a week.
How do I?
I have already cast what is it? I can't remember the name of the spell. Blade Ward on myself.
Are we sure? What does that do specifically?
You extend your hand and trace a sigil of warding in the air until the end of your next turn. You have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks.
Okay. Otaria, you slash at this thing. Can you give me a damage roll?
Just a flat damage roll?
For you hit it. I know you hit the damn thing, but
so I actually I don't know what does sneak attack apply? Does booming blade apply? And I'm asking this as a DM. I don't know.
You did not sneak up on it. I'm assuming the still suit in front of you. You didn't sneak up on.
Yeah.
And besides, you can't.
I don't have advantage.
It doesn't have eyes, so you just.
If we're treating it as an inanimate object, I don't think I would have advantage, and I'm just going to assume, therefore, that I don't do the booming blade trigger because I don't really know. It will be a whopping, very low roll of 7 damage. So much better.
Even though I told you that thing
damage.
Absolutely killed the guy upstairs, you didn't sneak up on it.
Well, it's a statue, Gigi. How is that? It's looking right at us.
Well, it might be asleep. Like the people upstairs were when they died.
Do any of us...
So I walked up to it and smacked it.
Do any of us reckon that we may need to activate it in some way first? For example, maybe trying to take a sip of this water is deemed as trying to steal from the tower, and that's why our friend was slashed either before or after he tried to leave the room.
Otaria, yes. give me a dexterity saving check.
I am good at those, at the very least.
Wrong.
Okay. Roll it off the table, but that usually means I'm going to do good. Yes, correct. 25.
25. All right. You dodge out of the way at the exact last second as this Buster Sword comes slamming down to the left of you, as it just tried to cleave you in half up the center.
Hey, Beau, I activated it.
Bully for you.
With that, I'm going to need everyone to go over to roll 20.
I did assume.
Roll 20.
Oh, not create an account. I do already have one. Ooh, that's a cool looking map.
Please let me in. Let me in.
Please let me play the D&D game.
Please.
Please.
I don't want to become a pro. Let me see the map, please.
Swap over to this.
There we are.
I can't.
Whoa.
This is a very cool map.
Ooh.
Where did you find this?
Oh dear.
This looks like a League of Legends.
I swiped it, and I'm giving credits to the person who made it on stream right now, because I actually have it pulled up.
How it is.
This I grabbed from a ex-user named CZEPEKU. I don't really know how to pronounce that name.
That was the first time I've ever heard anyone call it X in earnest.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice.
To Elon Musk?
No, that's fair. This is a Twitter account named this that I got the map from. Please go and check them out. Subscribe to their Patreon. Please don't sue us for me using the map. I just thought it was really cool and thought it fit. All right, going back over. Here is the map that we have. The knight is in the center here. Ignore the fact that that's a mace. He has a giant sword. And you guys are all the way back here.
All right.
Except for me. I'm not all the way back there.
Yes, you
I'd rather
barely
be.
dodged it. And everybody, give me an initiative roll.
Cool,
Initiative.
cool.
Go! Alright, that's not an awful initiative. That's a
Initiative.
11.
Initiates.
One of my lower initiative options.
19. That's a far cry from my nat 1 of the first one.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Let's hope I'm going before this thing does.
I'm trying to get my my setup set up here. So
I have not really participated actively in a combat in so long. I don't even know how the fuck I'm supposed to do this.
all right.
Okay. I mean, this girl's gotta be in there. It's gotta be in there. I know we couldn't detect it, but it's gotta be in the guy.
All right. What was everybody's initiative again?
19.
18.
11.
Okay.
Well, good thing you dodged that swipe, didn't you, Otaria?
Yeah, that is what I'm good at.
All right. Momo, you are up first.
All right. What can I do to not make sure he doesn't die? Not a lot, actually. You'd be
Need I remind
surprised.
you that I'm not as durable as I was acting to be during our first few meetings.
Yes, I understand that. There's absolutely nothing I can do for you that would be helpful. Unless this thing can get frightened, which I would argue it probably can't. I don't think it can be frightened. So I'm going to just take a couple shots at it. I'm gonna... what is it, dexterity? I have my dexterity to my thingy, right? To my shots. I get 2 attacks. All right, first attack is going to be 15 on the die plus 3, 18 to hit.
15 on the die, 18 to hit. No, that does not hit.
Well, we're fucked.
Crap,
We are fucked. We're fucked.
Crap.
That's bad.
This is very bad. All right. That's what's it, 17 plus 320 to hit?
20 to hit does
Okay,
hit.
thank God.
All right.
You're not
Oh,
that awful to us.
No.
All
20
right.
hits. We're so back.
Right.
It'll be a 19.
20. That's 1/8. Oh wow, that was max damage.
Hey.
That's
There we go.
16 plus 3. You add your dexterity to the thingy weapons. That's 19 damage.
19 damage. All right. Good job.
And technically, I did hurt it first, so that's a little
Oh,
bit.
obviously, I moved to get closer to in range. I just can't really do that. I am very bad at this. I don't have my mouse. That was the joke that Mike made, by the way.
Which show?
Goodness. there we go. I think that's right. I'm so bad at math. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day.
We'll say it's good.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's the end of my turn. Before that, I'm not going to use a bardic inspiration at this point. I think you're good right now, Otaria.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, misplaced though it may be.
You're welcome.
I didn't say thank
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use I'm going to expend a bardic inspiration to get whatever I roll on this die. Think gets added to my AC. It's called like a blade flourish. What is that? Fuck me. What is it? It is defensive flourish. You expend use of your bardic inspiration and deal extra damage equal to the number you roll on the die. You also add the number to your AC until the start of your next turn. So that is 5 extra damage on top of that, and that's 5 extra to my AC. My AC is now 19.
Got it.
So that was 19 plus 5, 24 damage altogether, and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Mike, you're up.
Fun reminder of perspective for how fucked up the Otario reveal makes our party layout.
Yeah.
I am the party tank. I have 94 health. I'm a ranger.
It is a ranger, a bard, and a rogue, and we are fighting giant living armor.
Yep.
It's not good.
This thing's going to absolutely decimate us. Oh no!
Oh no! I'm still quite a distance away. So we're gonna pull out a rifle, and we're gonna shoot for, I guess, the gaps in the armor. Although I don't know if that's technically nothing.
Oh, that's a good point.
There are gaps in the armor, but you can see chainmail inside of the gaps in the armor.
Fun!
Okay, like stitching it together.
Fun.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Otario, you're the closest. Give me an investigation check, and I'll see you can relay it to everybody else.
Well, that is dependent on me doing anything good with this roll. 18!
18!
Hey!
The chainmail is only in the pits of the elbows and the pits of the knees.
Shoot for the armpits!
What?
You heard me!
I
Or the knee pits, whatever, either one.
guess I'd shoot for the. I'd say, out of character as a player who also heard that. I think that would mean anywhere else wouldn't be protected, because if there's chainmail in the armpits and the knees,
not
then...
the armpits, in the this right here.
Oh, these gaps,
and,
the joints.
the joints. There's only chainmail in the joints of the legs and the arms. You cannot see any here, and you cannot see any where the hip meets the leg.
But is it just an empty gap in those areas?
You got an 18.
Yeah.
It's dark in there.
Okay.
Because there's nothing protecting there.
The reason I say shoot for the armpits is like I don't want the hit. I feel like hitting and breaking the joint material is better than hitting the empty gaps.
That's probably why there's chainmail there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Well, no, I don't know. My point was I don't. The way I interpreted it, and this is just me as a player, could totally be wrong. So I'm sticking to it because if I'm wrong, that's interesting. The way I interpreted it was the chainmail is like the muscle that is holding it together, not armor. It is like the mesh that's keeping the. I don't know if I could again totally be wrong, but that is what I as a player and Ataria thought. So I'm sticking to my shoot for the armpits thing, and if I'm wrong, that's on me.
That is convincing enough, and also Beau the character only heard shoot for, we'll say, the joints. So we'll shoot for the joints.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Give me a roll to shoot for the joint.
That's Because I had dexterity and also an additional +2 to ranged weapons. That's a 21.
21 does hit. You do hit it in the joint. Do you want to tell me what joint you're shooting for?
We'll shoot for the joint in the arm that is holding the blade.
Got it. Joint in... All right, that is the right arm in the joint of the arm right there.
Yes.
I will say, now that you've already dedicated to shooting the thing, roll me the damage with disadvantage.
Darn it.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Let's see. Where is the damage for the rifle? There it is. 2d12. 2. Okay. That's cocked. Okay, one of them rolled double 2s, so
Wow.
it would have been a 2 either way.
Gotcha.
Because, like, the way I
Alright.
do it is, like, I'm rolling disadvantage for,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the one set and the two sets separately. So one rolled double 2s, the other one rolled an 8 and then a 12. So,
Yeah, the double 2s is the disadvantage.
8 and a 12 is what's lost? No.
yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah.
So 4 damage.
You hit it in the joint of the arm that it's swinging with, and Otaria, you see the bullet hit that chainmail and very sluggardly bounce off into the ground as it has its arm on the sword.
I might have misanalyzed the situation a little bit. That one's on me.
Beau miffed just shoots again because we have extra attack, and this time we're gonna
Gotcha.
go for you said there's a hip joint, and then you said another joint, I think.
The armpit joint and the hip joint are the two most mobile ones.
We'll shoot for the hip joint.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
That does not hit.
Boy. Oh, I hope this thing doesn't
And-
have a lot of health or we are in a lot of trouble.
That is the end of my turn.
Okay.
Moment of truth. Is it me or is it this thing?
It's this thing.
In a weird way, I'm kind of okay with that, actually.
All right.
In a weird way, I'm
All
okay
right.
with this.
Interesting choice.
Well, you'll
Very
see why.
interesting choice.
You'll see why.
All right. Does a 20 hit?
20 definitely hits, but I am gonna silvery barbs that to give him disadvantage, and then let me sneak attack on my next hit.
Okay.
That's why I have that spell.
Does a 20 hit?
You know, this time, no, it doesn't.
No. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay.
I have advantage on my next thing. Yay!
5.
I don't think he can do that much damage. Cue comedic timing.
All right. That is going to be 9 slashing
Oh,
damage.
I can handle that. I'm not
And
tanky, but that could
27
be so much
radiant
worse.
damage.
It's going to be 9 slashing damage. And
And damn it.
16 necrotic damage
That-
when he hits you.
Is worse. That is worse.
That's
That's
is
almost
worse,
half
but-
my health.
That is
I have
shit.
50. I have 58 health. I am not tanky. I am a rogue.
We're also friends.
I am a squishy rogue.
Him hitting you, also, since you get hit in the fucking chest, because he does hit you, does also knock you back.
That's fine. I
because
can. Yeah.
Big ass Buster Sword knocks you back about 15.
I got
feet.
free movement from rogues, so that doesn't change anything.
All right.
And now is it my turn?
Now it is your turn. Yes.
All right. Well, not loving that, but I did charge up my my advantage sneak attack. So
You did.
I am going to just use my movement to run up, and now I'm going to hit him with my Advantage sneak attack. Hold on, let me get my... Oh, I'm going to do my booming blade thing. So this is my booming blade. You know the combo I do for every melee.
Yep.
Well, good thing I have that advantage, because that right there would be a 10.
Yikes! Yeah,
So
that would not.
let's roll a second time for a 26.
26 definitely does hit.
I do like a bad attack as a fake out, and then bam. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's something. We're gonna play that off. That was intentional. Also, someone in chat pointed out I do have uncanny dodge. I hate to say this, I would rather use it on something that would like kill me than something at full health.
Yep.
Even if it's a big hit, I want to save it for when it's more urgent. So, okay, let me do my many rolls here, because I have so many dice rolls for this. So that, and then I have that, and then damn, okay. That is going to be 43 damage in total. Some of that is thunder. Some of that is thunder damage. If that changes anything, it's slashing and thunder damage.
No, that does not change anything. That is just one hell of a hit.
Wait. No. That's right. If he willingly moves 5 feet or more before then, he takes an extra thunder damage, or an extra D8 of thunder damage. So with that in mind, since I know that went off, I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage. Which I assume is that, because the spacing on this is a little bit different. And then I'm going to back up to here with the rest of my movement so that he has to move if he wants to hit me.
Gotcha.
So there we go. See, I turn back and I'm like, see, now that I don't have to pretend to be some big, strong son of a bitch, I can actually do things.
You're half dead.
Then did you see how hard I hit him?
But he looks fine. You're half dead.
There's a little bit of blood on the floor. It'll be fine.
All right.
All right.
If he moves, he'll get hurt more.
Momo, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna do a bard thing that I don't think I've done at all in this entire thing. I think there's like I had it a second ago and I lost it immediately. But there's something you can like perform for a turn and like give your party advantage on something. I can't find it.
We go so quickly from "you're half dead" and then you start playing a song.
I can't find it.
Tune.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes, counter charm. As an action you can perform until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet that can hear you gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So.
Gotcha.
Well.
Just for everybody's sake here. Is it up in the corner? Oh, there it is. I am going to... This map was set up with the dimensions of the last one, so I'm actually going to up that.
I've just been moving 2 for every 5 because that seems equivalent to what the space was. Yeah, but if that's wrong, I can move somewhere else because it's like judging it based off my mini. I think it's just double sized.
Yeah, I would say that.
You know, it might be better if I just like maybe I don't know. I guess I can just like lay attacks into this thing for better or for worse, but I don't know what this thing can do other than just hit hard. It seems magical in nature. It does. It probably has at least some. Like I said, I did booming blade it, so if it's smart enough to know that, maybe we sort of force it into doing something. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm just going to assume it has some sort of magical thing that it seems almost like a paladin-esque armor that can do like smite and bullshit like that. So I'm going to, in case there's anything that's like fear or charming capabilities, because if you notice back there, quite a lot of the people were running away. Could be because there was some scary armor attacking them. Could be because of some fear component. We don't know. I mean, I think there is an inherent fear component to the armor attacking you. Yes, that is true. But also, I only have 2 revolvers, and those are going to get used up very quickly if, I miss like more attacks. So I'm just going to perform for you guys. Hopefully there's some fear component, and I start playing my pan flute.
That would.
Gotcha.
Let's hope this works.
This thing doesn't respond. It's not taking in any sort of fear. Period.
Oh no, it's like if it can do like some sort of fear thing, like
It's resistance.
I don't know
buffs
if
to
it strikes you
on fear. I think,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, in case there's any sort of like magical component that could
Ah,
fear or
got it.
charm them, it would.
Gotcha.
Because I noticed that the people upstairs were asleep, so
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure sleep is a charm effect, and we would have there
okay.
again advantage against that.
Okay. Gotcha. Noted. Cool. Is that your turn then?
That is my turn. I'm also going to move back a tick.
Gotcha. Mike, you are up.
All right.
Oh, this is grass? Or just water?
Yeah, this whole room is filled with greenery.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to stand in the grass.
Gotcha.
We are now within 60 feet, but I still want to go at it with the rifle just to get those gaps in the armor exactly to see
Got
if
it.
it does do anything when it's not the chainmail. So, attack number 1. That will not hit in any fucking universe. That was a 13. So
No,
let's
that does not.
let's
Let's do this one more time.
I don't know. I don't know how many. Let's do that one more time. That got in me, man. I don't know how many more I can do.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully more.
That was a 2 on the die.
Yeah,
Hey, it could have been worse.
you
Could've been
fired on
worse.
the recoil. You shot the first time, and then the recoil of the rifle made you shoot a second time. And you completely missed it. Okay. Unfortunately, Beau, are you gonna move anywhere, or are you just?
I
you
moved.
just taking
I
that?
moved to be specifically within 60 feet of this thing.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, it is now its turn. Let's see. Let's do some measuring here. Okay.
Don't tell me it can warp next to the person at last
If it
hit.
can
That would
teleport
No.
again,
It cannot teleport again. Not pulling that thing again. All right. I need Momo and Matt to make a dexterity saving throw.
I don't think you do though. I don't
That's
think so.
that's a big area. Are you sure? You sure, Kig? That's a big area.
I got a 22.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if I'm not fine,
You're good?
we're very
You're
not
good.
fine.
I failed big time, dude. Oh god.
Oh no!
I
Bro,
failed
I
so
straight
hard.
Fuck that up, man.
I feel like
That
we're gonna
was
lose
3 on the
somebody in this
die.
fight. We
A 3 on the die and I get a plus.
comp.
Oh god.
We're slightly cutting the amount of episodes, and we are also slightly cutting the amount of living characters.
I just want to remind y'all again,
Uh,
I am a bard and I dumped Khan. So I only have 43 hit points.
This should have been fucking Jared's build, not shit.
yeah.
Oh no!
Sickly
Okay.
comedian.
I'm sorry. How many hit points?
I'm down. I'm fully down. There's no way. It's 43 hit points. I'm down. There's no way.
Oh no! If it's that high,
This-
Otari is fucking. Oh god.
This is a big attack. This is called Hellfire Orb.
Oh! I love Hellfire Orbs!
Let's see.
This is gonna hurt because this is a fucking Piccolo attack name. You can't hit with a fucking Hellzone grenade.
There's that,
There's no way I can give myself aquatic inspiration in this bewitching hour.
Oh no. Okay. Gigi, you see what is essentially a fucking nuke go off in front of you.
Well,
so hold on. What happened here was Gigi yells at Otaria for fighting when he's half dead, starts doing a little dance, and then the monster points at her and she explodes.
Hey, you explode too.
No, I'm fine.
Unfortunately,
He succeeded on the saving throw, but it still takes
Nope.
half damage.
Rogues don't do that. If you're a
Rogues
rogue at
don't-
of
okay.
a high enough level, when you're subjected to a thing that allows you to make a dex save throw to take half damage, you take no damage, you just succeed.
God. Okay,
Just
that's great.
fully-
That's great. Gigi, you might be vaporized.
yeah. I only have 43 hit points, so
Oh my
Well,
god.
I can only
That's-
take 86 damage, or I'm just fully dead.
Yeah, well, you take 34 fire damage, and then an additional 39 necrotic damage.
An
I
additional
don't have-
39.
39 plus what?
Yeah.
34.
Yeah.
I'm down for sure, but I'm not dead. I'm down for sure, but not dead.
No.
We have
Oh,
just reached the threshold where it's not double your health.
Yeah,
So we're not vaporized.
I'm not
Also, we have
vaporized.
no
I am like
healers.
fully out of this fight. So like, call me when you need me, though. Call me when you need me.
Just explosion, the smoke clears, you're in the fucking Family Guy death pose.
Rand is gonna turn to Beau, and there's
Gigi
an
just got
awkward
fucking
pause.
Yamcha. Just.
Rand turns to Beau. There's an awkward pause. He goes, "Oh, if she dies, your girlfriend's gonna show up."
Oh god.
Shut.
I'm sorry. The way I'm visualizing this is legitimately that Gigi was just like, "You're almost dead," and then runs over to the grass to do a little jig, and then just fucking gets Yamcha'd out of nowhere. Just the biggest explosion you've seen. And
Dramatic finish.
But you do still have advantage against fear and charm conditions.
As long
That
as
was
we're within
not a
30 feet of your
concentration thing.
smoking corpse. Like,
The sudden
I'm down.
explosion of your friend does not stir your resolve.
I'm down. I'm not
Oh.
dead though.
Oh god.
we're so fucked.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I forgot I have to do,
Continuing.
like death saving throws and shit.
Sorry, Greenstone Gaming in chat fucking got me. You're almost dead. Hits the gritty and dies.
Oh my god. Okay.
We shouldn't be laughing.
On
Anyway,
the bright side, there's no way he can do that twice.
No.
No, that's
No
that's
way.
gotta be.
No, he
That's-
already
amount
was
of
gonna
times you
nuke two
mentioned
of you.
it, and it's just been the opposite.
That's
The bad thing.
There's no way he can do that twice.
There's no way he has 2 Hellfire Orbs.
You get one
Oh,
nuke.
God.
You don't get 2 nukes. That's not how math
He
works.
thought he was gonna kill 2 of you right there.
Okay,
and
but I'm
luckily-
Was the
speedy.
nuclear arms agreement in the lore doc or no?
My
Otaria
rogueness saved
saw-
me.
Otaria saw this ball of light form in his hand, and he threw it like a grenade, and Otaria got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, what
Oh,
the fuck does
God.
Otaria do to follow up the
What?
nuking of our friend?
Hey, Mike, I have no idea. I don't have advantage. I need the silvery barbs to get myself the big bonk, so I don't have the big bonk right now.
And he didn't even move.
No, and he didn't move. Oh, Christ. Okay.
He turns to Matt with his sword now in both of his hands, pointing it at Otaria, and that's where he's gonna end his turn. Otari, what would you like to do in response?
I have my sword out in front of me, just like shaking a little bit. Like,
Oh my god.
is there any way that we could just kind of borrow that scroll of yours? I swear to God, we'll bring it back.
It does not. It does not respond.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get anything from that. I mean, I don't think my old magnify gravity trick. That's a con save. That's probably not gonna be the play against this thing. Boy, I am so unhelpful in this scenario. I'm gonna do something I don't think I've done this campaign because I'm terrified to get close to this thing, and I'm going to shoot gun. So remind me, I do have a blunderbuss. What are the stats for that again? I know we have the doc. I can pull that up if we.
Fuck.
I don't.
Yeah, I would say pull up the doc.
Yeah. Okay, that'll take me a second. Sorry. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm gonna be chuckling about this for days.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god.
It's definitely something. Wait. Shoot.
In my head, this looks like a DBZ death, where like you see the silhouette of the person just fucking dissipates. Just,
Okay, so and I know it's changed. It's a dex roll, correct? It is a dexterity for the guns.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, because that's not on the dock, but I believe. All right, so I'm going to take my blunderbuss. It is one-handed single shot, 60 feet, so I am able to do that. And I'm going to. It's about to be moment of truth here, because I did get a 19. And I believe we were debating whether the AC was 19 or 20. So...
I'm so sorry.
God! No!
You aim for its head and it like skids off the side of the helmet, but you do not hit it.
I mean that's my action. I have made like I could leave. I could run away.
Oh god. Remember in that conversation you had with Apollyon this morning, like, I gotta go.
I'm just gonna go over here. I don't have anything I can do. I think it was established we did have health potions from the lifeboat.
You do.
But I think it would probably take an action to dump one of those on Gigi's face. So so I'm just gonna stand there and have my reaction ready to try not to die.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, next would be Momo, but Momo is currently smoldering. So
That's
Mike,
a death. Well, that's a death save, is it not?
That's a death save.
That's a
Actually,
death
yes,
save.
Momo.
All right.
I am.
That's a success.
Hey!
Woo!
Fuck yeah!
That's the end of my turn. Thank you.
Score.
I will be
Thank
here.
you.
I will hopefully be here all week.
I will be here taking up space until the next time I have to roll the dice again. Other than that, that is my time.
Oh god. Okay. Mike, you're up.
Yeah. I'm not trying to move up too quickly, but I am the party tank now, so I'll get up a little. I'll get up pretty close. And we still have 2 rifle rounds left, and I feel like this is better for the exact situation than the shotgun would be, at least flavor-wise. So let's see it through. Let's do that again. Let's not roll like we did last time, please, because this is one hard fucker to hit. Ah! Nah, that was a 16.
Yeah, just... You're still rattled from seeing Gigi explode.
You know, that will do it. That's a 21!
There we go.
21! Alright, yes, you hit it.
And I'm shooting for the hip joint. So do I get to roll damage normal style?
Yeah, you do.
Yes. 13 damage.
13 damage.
This thing can't have too much health, right?
All right.
Its AC is so high.
This guy can't nuke people and have a ton of health.
Okay. You hit it in that hip joint, and which leg were you shooting for?
We were going for the right arm joint, so we'll go for the right leg.
Awesome. You shoot it in the hip joint, and successfully take off its right fucking leg.
Good, great,
Yo!
fantastic.
It drops to the ground on its side. It has one functioning leg, and it still has its sword in its hand. But you did take off its fucking leg.
Okay, and now see, with my abilities being telekinetic, maybe I can topple it. I might be able to actually do something with
this. I'm gonna use
this.
a little more of my movement because I could do something at least funny.
Oh, I have a cool idea. You go ahead, though. Sorry, we're just talking out loud.
Oh, that's the end of my turn. I was just saying, for the sake of my next turn, I use some more of my movement on this turn.
Gotcha. Well, that would be the knight's turn, but it is knocked. It's prone, so it's gonna take its turn to get back up, using its sword as a brace for its other leg. So it's using the sword in the right hand and using it sort of as a crutch to get up.
I have an incredibly stupid idea, but it's maybe one of the funny. If this works, it will be one of my favorite things I've ever done in a D&D game. I'm going to see this happen. Which leg got popped off?
The right one.
It's right one. Okay, so
yeah.
I'm going to cast Magnify Gravity here, which is it's a very dark color, so I don't have my little ping. But I'm casting it off to the right so that only it's oh wait, hold on. The right leg. I'm sorry. There's so many dimensions of left and right here that I got mixed up. Here, I am casting Magnify Gravity so that only the missing leg half of the body gets into the gravity field.
All right. Is there any save throw for
there
that
is a save, and it is a Constitution save that is not very high, which I'm hoping that its status will give it some disadvantages here, but there is a con save to this.
Okay. I'm going to roll it with disadvantage because he does not have a fucking leg.
Okay,
right
it's still so possible that it makes this, but if it works, it'll be very funny.
Does a 16 pass?
Is that with disadvantage?
That is with disadvantage.
Shit.
The other one was a 17.
It still does have an effect. I believe it is like just minor damage. Yeah, it is no speed reduction. Notably, any object that isn't being worn or carried in the sphere requires a strength check against my spell save DC to pick up or move. If it's balancing the sword or bracing it on the ground, I don't know if that counts. Yeah. That's your call.
No, that will count.
Okay.
That'll count. What's the spell save?
The spell save is only 12, but it's technically still have to do that, and it is still going to take a whole 3 damage. So that didn't work, but it was also not entirely useless.
That is a 10 with disadvantage there for strength, which I'm also giving it. I'm giving it disadvantages almost across the board because it has one leg and just got slammed down.
So notably, then it can't pick up or move that sword until my next turn.
So seeing as the sword was the thing that was bracing it, and the arm that was holding it was actually the thing that was holding it up, both the arm at the elbow joint and the sword get flattened, and the arm comes off from the Magnify Gravity, and he drops to the ground to the side. Now he has only a left arm and a left leg.
Oh my god, I cannot believe that worked.
All right.
Okay.
Is that your whole turn?
I mean, I could move, but I don't. I can. I'm gonna stay where I am because I can move super far as a rogue anyway. So I want to stay far away, and if I need to close distance quickly later, I can.
Gotcha.
Are you not able to use anything to give Gigi health
I
potions?
I used my action on the spell. Is it a bonus? I think it was
Okay.
determined it was an action to like get it out and do that.
Yeah, it's
Then
an
yeah.
action.
I'm happy with removing the sword arm. I think I'm happy with that.
Fair.
It is my time to
All right.
shine. This is where I roll
is
a nat
indeed your
20 and
time
I'm
to shine.
alive again. That's an 11, but it's a success
That's
still.
still good.
Hey!
Good.
It is my time to shine. A light. I shall walk towards it.
All right, that is my turn.
All right. Mike, you're up.
All right. This thing is armless. Well, right armless and right
Yep.
legless.
Yep. He's got a
Um,
left arm and a left leg, and he is currently, I will say, prone on his back.
Okay. Beau is going to make an approach. Saying, it was awful unkind of you to blow up my friend. So let me pull something out of my pocket that is hopefully equally outrageous. And from the coin purse, Beau reaches down deep and pulls her arm out. And for a lot longer of a time than it took to pull her arm out, she pulls out at least the size of her body, rod that ends in the head of a hammer with a big fucking spike in the end you would smash it
Hell
into.
yeah.
Have you had that
All right.
the whole time?
I was waiting for the right moment. I thought it would be the snakes. It was not the snakes. I thought it would be the rats. It was not the rats. It might as well be this, because the most frustrating thing I found as a blacksmith is that the most effective weapons are dead-brainedly simple. And like a golf club, she is going to swing such that ideally the armor's torso would come detached from the remaining limbs of its body.
All right. Okay. Give me a roll to hit with advantage because you are standing on top of it.
Hell yeah.
Just dismantled this thing.
That's a nat 20!
Let's
Oh yeah,
go!
you fucking get it. All right. Give me the damage roll. It's not really gonna matter, but give me the damage roll anyway.
Let me review the stats for this.
Man, this campaign has had multiple nat 20s just at the best times for the narrative.
Perfect time.
It's so good.
1d10 plus. It is the best weapon purely in a flavor sense. This does 1d10 plus 2 damage.
Gotcha.
Which one of these is my d10? God, I'm too new at this. This one is it. Yeah. That's a 4 for 6 damage.
6 damage.
Oh wait, no,
Okay.
I roll another because it was a crit.
Right. Yes.
That's actually going to be 9 damage. So we're high
Improved.
rollers.
We're doing a little bit better. So you roll up, pull this damn thing out, and whack the torso. And the torso does come unhinged, meaning that in all technicality, the arm, the leg, and the head all got ripped off of this thing. And the torso goes flying across the room. And this thing is dead. You successfully killed it. No, the arms aren't moving anymore. It is now just an empty suit of armor.
Immediately, I am going to take out a health potion and just like uncork the vial and just upend it into Gigi's mouth.
Good plan.
That is the first thing.
Gotcha. All right,
I'm
Gigi,
alive.
You are revived.
All right. And how much HP did I get from that?
What level of? I mean, at this point, does it? I'm assuming that's the end. But what level of health potion did we even have? I actually don't know if that was ever stated.
That is because I didn't even really think about it. We're just gonna go with level 10, the same way that everything else.
Okay, hold on. We can keep going and I'll look it up. And so don't wait for me to find that.
Okay.
There's not a
Is it
10.
dead?
You're up.
It's okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it great? It's health potion level basically 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh, okay, great. 2.
2. Okay. World health. 17 HP.
All right. Okay.
All right. The thing is dead. Gigi, you are back up again. There is a smoking crater where you were lying. And Beau, I'm imagining that you're having a quite relaxing moment after fucking golfing this thing to death.
I am, for the first time, just kind of appreciating the rushing water.
Gotcha. Just. All right.
I'm lying in the grass.
Gotcha.
I want to go pick up one of this thing's hands.
All right.
One of the gauntlets. I want to see if it moves.
You pick up the gauntlet, and it is completely empty. It is just a floppy gauntlet.
How heavy is the gauntlet, roughly?
I'd say the gauntlet alone is about 30 pounds.
30 pounds for the gauntlet? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was
the reason this fucking thing was so strong.
I was gonna put my mage hand in it and have a ghost hand, but if it's 30 pounds, that is not nearly enough. Okay.
No, this is a armor for some sort of brute.
That is hard for me as a character to pick up, I think, to some extent.
Gotcha. Alright. So, Gigi, you still have detect object on, right?
I died. What do you
You
think?
did die. That's fair. No. Okay, so
I have to recast that shit.
the armor is laying in pieces everywhere. I will say, I don't really think any of you have the strength check to pick up any of these pieces and consistently use them. You're more than welcome to, but that's not...
I have to try. In character, I do have to try. Is it just a flat strength? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, would a +2 to strength be deemed as strong enough to be worth trying? Because
I'm gonna say that you have to roll over an 18 to be able to wield the sword, and you need to roll over a 20 to be able to wield it well.
that's worth trying.
I have no bonuses. I'm still trying it anyway.
Gotcha.
5.
4.
No. Yeah, neither of you can even pick the damn thing up.
We tried together and get about halfway there.
I think if I'm gonna quote Berserk here, it is more of a slab of metal than a sword when you try and pick it up. It is just heavy as shit. You can't get this thing to move.
Yeah, okay.
You guys never did find the scroll in here, however.
No, we need to look for that.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Gigi, I know you just almost died. Do the thing.
I'm playing around in the grass. I'm sniffing it. I'm rolling around in it.
Gotcha. Otaria and Beau, do you want to give me investigation checks if you're looking?
Sure. She just died. Let her have some fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
14.
14?
Not horrible on my investigation.
Not terrible.
Hey, that is a 21.
21.
Much better.
Beau, I'm assuming, like, conqueringly walking over to the chest piece you just launched across the room, you can see that bolted into the back of this chest piece is the scroll. Bolted into the very back of it, right around where the nape of the neck is.
Like inside the armor or the outside?
Inside the armor.
Okay. I was like, sneaking would have worked?
No, it is inside of the armor, and it is bolted in with 2 leather straps holding it on the inside.
Oh, certainly kept it safe and snug, and we're gonna get that baby out of there.
Okay.
If it is that simple.
Are you gonna try and get it out?
Yeah, I assume I have like a heel knife or something that I could cut the straps with.
Got it. Okay, so you cut the two straps, leather straps that you can like very. This is the first time you're feeling like actual, real hard, like cow leather. Do you try and pick it up?
It would stand to reason.
All right. The cold shooting feeling of death runs up your arm the same way it did when you grabbed the other ones. The second you lay your hand on it, it feels like your arm is starting to die instantly.
Put it in the bag. Put it in the bag.
I'll put it in the bag. I'll just put it in the bag.
All right. Picking it up and just throwing it into the bag. Your arm is still shaking. You can tell that mortals are not supposed to touch these things. You can still feel these shooting pains running up the veins of your arm that you decided to grab it with.
Ooh. Pins and needles. Shake that out. Whew.
Yeah, it's not fun to touch one of those, is it?
The
No,
best
it's not.
way I can describe it is your blood feels like it's made of ice water in that arm right now.
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing now? Because now you are in a terrarium, essentially. Unnaturally lit. Again, the lighting seems like sunlight, but it doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere. And it is surrounded in greenery.
I'd like to make some sort of like perception or investigation check to see if there's like some light falcon energy in this room.
That like sort of older than time magic sort of feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an Arcana check.
Come on, I can roll well. That's something I should be able to do.
You did say that last time.
Then I rolled an 11.
It doesn't super feel that way, but you do feel regular magic. It does feel like there is sort of druid magic in here, but there isn't that sort of holy, older than time sort of magic that the horsemen have inside.
Now,
That's good news.
I hate to bring down the mood. I'm sure everybody, Gigi especially, is very happy to be in an environment like this. But I do think we might want to book it out of here as fast as humanly possible, considering that last scroll, our good friend, the Demon Man, had already sort of gotten to it before us. He might be hot on our trail.
Good plan. I'm digging up some grass and like putting it in my pockets with dirt and putting moss in it as well. I'm like, if we're taking the scroll, they didn't. The Hey Bestie said don't take anything. At this point, you take the scroll, the most important thing in the room. Everything else kind of seems like a whatever, you know?
I don't think the grass is a priority, so sure.
I mean, it would
Take
stand to
grass and
reason that
moss.
way that the curse isn't really lifted or isn't really active anymore. And Beau is like backing toward the door to stuff all the shit we took out of the purse back into the purse.
Gotcha.
I'm like
okay.
making sure to take as much like growing shit because we can just cultivate this stuff again. There's going to be children that are going to see grass.
Can I take the hand, like the 30-pound hand, and like awkwardly lug it over and dump it in Beau's bag?
Sure, why not? Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna
30 pounds is not that heavy.
Yeah.
I'm not strong, but like, you know.
Well, like a 30-pound dumbbell. I mean, maybe not one-handed, but like.
Yeah, no, like
one-handed is
what
impossible.
I guess I should say, when I said lug it over, like I'm not putting my hand in it and just like lifting. I'm like taking it and like lifting it and not like dragging it on the ground. I just meant like awkward.
I thought you were like dragging it behind you. And I'm like,
I just meant like
put it on your
picking up the gauntlet and moving that and just kind of dumping it into Beau's bag when she's not looking.
All right. And you're just looting everything that you had before?
I haven't gotten a trophy from any one of these bastards. I want one.
Can I investigate the water to see if the water is like normal or if it's actually like bad?
Sure. Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
I'm just gonna go to physical dice because I roll bad everywhere. So like I would just like to roll well a little bit. Okay, that's you. What did you say it was? Investigation.
Investigation.
26.
26. This you would not know this in character, but to give you out of character example of what this water is like, freshly melted mountain water. It is crystal clear and ice fucking cold.
I mostly wanted to know if it's going to kill me if I drink it.
It is not. It does not seem cursed, and unlike the other one, it does not seem like there is anything under this. It is water.
I start drinking from it. It's so good. I'm just like, this is some good shit, guys. This is delicious.
I will say, given your placement in the world, this is probably the first time you are drinking cold water.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point.
This is amazing. I like filling my canteen with it. Like I'm filling any canteen I have, anything. I'm like going to the dead people as I'm taking their canteens. I'm filling their canteens with it.
That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, that's probably smart. This is likely the most pure water. End of sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So this is what it's like to chew fifth gum.
Fuck you! Oh my god!
Mike's fired for a third time.
Third time!
New record, baby!
He's going big before he fucks up. Alright. So you have collected ice cold water. You have raided the shit out of the armor upstairs. Otaria stole a glove. And you have the scroll also rattling around in the bag somewhere. What are you doing now?
Getting the fuck out, I imagine.
Yeah, go. Leave quickly and not be here anymore.
Alright, you guys ascend the stairs again. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter the higher you go up. And you open the hatch again and are re-met with the smoldering sun that you guys have known your entire lives, that I'm imagining you got kind of non-acclimated to the deeper that you went. It is now, you feel the sun on your face again, and you look back out at the empty rural desert around you. But you are successfully able to get out of the tower.
Horses, Dorney.
Yeah, horse time.
All right.
Horse time.
So you get on the horse and go straight back to Dorney's camp. Is that the goal?
That is my goal, at least.
Should we do that? I mean, like, technically he can't track the scrolls if it's on a different plane, and Bag of Holdings are on different planes. So technically it's not with us. So if we take it to Dorney, he can't be like, that's where she is. Heh.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think we have any other, like, where else would we go
That's
at
true.
this point?
That's true.
We can take it to Beau's house and bury it in the backyard.
Yeah, obviously.
I do have lots of little helpers who love digging.
I will also say Dorney does have 2 scrolls.
That's
Remember
true,
that.
that's
She
true.
has her own.
Yeah.
But now all
You
three
guys are
are
collecting
all
one of
three are exactly where he would need to just swipe all 3.
I do not want to wish to hear any further comment, but I do think it makes
Actually,
sense that we
she just has
rendezvous
hers.
with Dorney.
Think about it.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, when you said 2, I thought you were including this one for some reason.
Yeah, including the one that you guys
Yeah.
have. This is she
This
has
would
one,
be
you
the
guys
second.
have
This
one,
would be
and
the second.
Apollyon has 5. So,
Okay. Well,
Go.
all right, you rocket off on the horses and are back at Dorney's camp again. Some large salt flat style area, and she is again sitting at the fire, drinking what looks to be coffee, waiting for you all to return.
We did it this time! I'm just as surprised as you are, I'm sure.
Gotta get the actual. All right, I gotta get this back to be back in character again. Hold on. You guys ride up on the camp, and Dorney takes one last sip of her drink and sets it down and goes, "Is that so?"
Mm-hmm. Got the thing in the bag. Got a couple things in the bag, actually, but we got the most important one.
All right. Well, let me see it. Make sure that it's actually fucking here.
Oh, show your girlfriend the scroll.
Can I do a perception check to see if this is Dorney?
Yeah, you can do a perception.
Yeah. All right. I can roll well. Let's roll. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
This is absolutely Dorney.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is
thank
100
All right.
This is not. Yeah. This is not. You're not being duped here. That is actually Dorney.
Okay.
All right.
You guys did just fuck up last time, so her brain is like, I don't know if I believe you. You might just be lying to me. You do know that I kill people, so.
Understandable.
I'm just like, I don't want to be hoodwinked.
Makes sense. All right. She is standing there, hand on her belt, just like, y'all got it? Or did you leave it somewhere? Or?
I can get it for you. Reaching into the coin purse. Ow, 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 ow.
Sweetie, hold on. And she just reaches in and grabs it herself, seemingly with no repercussions when she picks it up.
Sweetie.
Shut up.
Looking at the scroll, she's like, God damn. You know, the last time I saw more than one of these in one place, shit went real bad, so it's good to know they're not all together this time. And you see Dorney walk over to her horse and put this scroll in that bag and lock it up.
That does bring up the thought that perhaps it would be pertinent to keep them separate. It may not be so wise to have the remaining scrolls both be in the same place when the other 5 are in the same place as each other.
That does make sense. Luckily enough, same way that you were transporting it was the way that I'm transporting it. And she pats the saddlebag that, as she pats it, seems to be empty. She has bags of holding on her horse that put the thing in a different plane when she puts them on there.
So, not to jinx anything, but is that the end of all this? That seems a little simple, though. We did just. I mean, Gigi almost died. Maybe simple is not the word, but point standing.
The end of this only really happens when we put Apollyon back in his scroll. Only because if we don't do that, he's just going to keep chasing after him. So we got to find him and end that entire string of events there.
That's a good point. I also have something I would like to talk to you about. When we were down there in the 5th tower of the 5th, there was an interesting mural we saw. It depicted a world of the past with essentially 3 conquerors and just a sea of dead bodies. And those 3 conquerors were your brothers and this Falcon of Light. You, however, were not present.
You are very correct. Dorney sits down on the log next to her fire and goes, I was the last horseman to be called forth. Essentially, I was supposed to cull anybody that wouldn't come with. Second my portal opened and I put my foot on the ground, well, a quarter of everything alive died instantly.
That was the Dune, I presume?
Surprisingly, no. The Dune was Famine's doing, because he wanted to expedite people starving and getting sick and all that. So the original idea was just turn all the dirt to sand and have that be it. And then I would show up and I would cull anybody that was still remaining, and then we'd open up the next one, and that would bring everybody under the control of Polyon, and then eventually we'd end up just turning everything off.
Oh, so the dune happened and then you stepped foot into the world.
Yes.
I'm going to assume that was like the same day, not like many years later.
It was a couple months.
Not. I think I was already. I was alive by then. Nope, I was not. I was conceived.
The mural that you saw probably depicted how my brother conquered the world.
That sounds right from what I remember.
I know the books say that he was some peaceful, democracy-spewing leader, but in reality, he was a conqueror. Anybody who wouldn't fall under his boot, he killed enough people until he did. And he did that for everybody.
And you did that for many, many years before you were awakened.
Roughly 200.
Wow. So you're here to tell me that the apocalypse has been going on for 400 years.
Counting today, roughly 700.
Long enough to kill an entire language.
Long enough to kill an entire language. In all reality, Polyon was supposed to go forth and conquer the world, and after he had conquered everything that we could find, broke all the rest of them, or me and my brothers, in roughly the span of about half a year, 6 months. Apocalypse was supposed to last that long. World was supposed to be gone before the Dune became a problem, but Hephaestus came in, took all the souls away, took all the scrolls from us, and he hid them, and the entire time we couldn't undo what famine had done, which just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
So you can undo what famine did.
No.
Can I hazard a guess?
I guess of.
By undo, you mean less undo what famine did and more undo everything?
When you draw on a piece of paper with ink, you can try and scrub it, you can try and wipe it away, you can try and dab it up. That paper's always going to be stained. Once we do something, its effects don't get turned back. We can't put that genie back in the bottle. We can put the ones that are causing it, which is us, put us back in there, but can't undo what we do to this place.
Well, you can damn well burn the paper.
Hence, she points at her saddlebag. That would be the original plan.
Y'all like analogies that I don't think paint a full picture of reality.
It's a lot better than saying we can't undo the things that we do to this world. There's only ways that we can try and move forward with it. And originally, we were put in this world to be able to end it. And we almost did. And then Hephaestus fucked it up.
What if there was a part of the paper that seemingly wasn't stained? And that maybe could spread to the rest of the paper. Gigi, do you want to show her some of the stuff you got from the room?
I pull out a handful of dirt and grass.
You see Dorney's eyes light up. She is, oh my god.
There's dirt and there's grass, and with this, we can rebuild this world.
I guess you can. She like touches the top of the grass. This is the first time I've seen this stuff living in roughly Roughly 500 years. That's really something.
It's beautiful.
She is completely awestruck. Goes, I'm gonna be honest, after we stopped my brother, I didn't really know how we were gonna do the next step. I always knew that the plan was trying to make things better, but
Well, Beau has so many hellhounds, and they produce a lot of shit. And with shit, you can make manure, and with manure, you can make more grass, and you could just essentially cover all of these dunes with hellhound shit and grass seeds, and then you have a meadow.
Step 10, cover the world in grass and shit.
yep. Step world. The world is covered in shit.
If we called the final episode "Everything Goes to Shit" if we win, that would actually be.
If we win, everything goes to shit. That's perfect. I love that. Dorney is just encapsulated with the greenery that you've brought. And she kind of just leans back and just goes, "We might actually be able to do this."
We can, because you thought that when you scorched the world or all that stuff, that after all of the embers there was nothing. But what you failed to realize is that Hephaestus, in all of his magnificence, truthfully, left a pilot light at the bottom of the fifth tower, or the Tower of the Fifth, whatever it was actually called. What was it actually called?
Tower of the Fifth.
Before that.
Oh.
It was just another watchtower.
Well, just another watchtower. What a mouthful. There is essentially a pocket of the original world. Well, not the original world, but the middle of the apocalypse that wasn't touched by the dune. And there's something keeping it alive. And it seems like there's light from an unknown source, but might be coming from a falcon of light. Seems like a super uncool creature of some sort. You have any knowledge of it?
Falcon Light was just a name. That was the name that Apollyon took.
But
Why everyone calls him that. That was really just to make his atrocities seem less bad. There is no actual Falcon of Light.
all right, if you're sure, it just seems like he's prone to stealing shit from other people and calling it his own. So,
That was just a name that he had.
well, whatever this
Just an,
magic is, it's keeping a piece of the world alive. There's even creatures down there. There's butterflies and caterpillars. It's beautiful. Maybe after we defeat your brother, you can go there with Beau.
Dorney's completely tuned out. She is completely just encapsulated with the grass that you have and taking all this info in. Can everybody give me a perception check?
Oh, I don't love that.
Stuff's going so well, though.
13?
So now one.
14.
Not one. Beau, you're the first one to hear it. It's kind of quiet. But it sounds roughly like a whip snapping 1,000 yards away.
Anyone else hear that?
Hear
And
what?
after about a second passes, Dorney goes flying forward and knocks over Gigi.
Ugh.
And her hat goes flying. And if you try and move her, Dorney is completely limp. On the horizon, pretty far away, you see a white silhouette with the longest rifle you've ever seen. Pull it up as it walks up to Dorney's horse. And reaches into the bag and pulls out the scroll you just gave her. And you just hear him go, "This would have been so much simpler if you all just stopped." And he holds his hand out, and you see Dorney get pulled back away from you by her back pocket. And you see, as she gets about halfway, her scroll slips out and lands in his hand. And he puts it behind his back, looks down, and picks up her hat and puts it on, and is like, "I'll see y'all where everything starts," and then vanishes in a flash of light in front of you.
That's not good. Okay, well, there's one thing that's made. They can't die, right? The horsemen can't die. They can just be put back in the scrolls, and she wasn't put back in the scroll, so that's good.
Do you want to give an investigation check?
I would love to do a flat D20 and hope I get lucky. Yeah. I'm going to roll it off the table, which again historically means I'm going to do a good roll. 7. That streak is broken. It's probably more fitting that someone else gets that good roll anyway. Beau.
Yeah, does someone else want to try that?
I will try that.
Or is Beau just fucking out of it right now?
Beau is numb, but that also occurs to her, I think. All right. No, she's out of it. That was a 5.
God damn. Okay.
All right. I guess I'll have to, because she was just on top of me. Would that be medicine? Like a medicine check I'd do on her?
She got pulled away from you. She's not on you anymore. Like, you can check to see if she's doing all right, but she got pulled away.
I'll do medicine.
Polyon stole her scroll. All right.
18?
18. Okay. Looking at her, you can see there is a hole right here on her neck that is pouring out what looks like beams of light, but it's purely black. And you can see what looks like black dust sort of starting to emanate off of her. She is like holding it, and you can see her form kind of flickering in between her horseman form and her human form. You can see her like reach up to Momo and pull you down. She can barely make out the words. "When I'm human, we heal like humans. I need you to patch this up, or it's gonna have all of us."
Yes, I do a medicine check to, I don't know, how do I stop this? Medicine?
I'd say a medicine check. You're patching up a bullet wound.
All right. I got this. Can I get the help action from anyone? Please?
I have a +2 because I have decent wisdom, so I
have a +3.
I mean, I can help. I'll help action is
Okay.
my point.
All right. So that I get advantage. Is that right?
I think so. I should know that, but I admittedly don't.
I think the help action is advantage. Like gives you advantage on your roll.
I'll check it really quick. Hold on. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
First roll is a 14.
Not the worst.
Not the
Second
worst.
roll is 21.
That's
21.
probably fine.
All right. You start patching up the hole in her neck, as best as you can with what's about, with like fabric and anything that you can find. Trying to wash it off. I'm assuming with some of the water that was in your canteen and everything.
Let's not get crazy.
You were successfully able to patch up her neck. But the more that you're working on her, the less she's starting to flicker, and the more she looks just like a person. Until eventually, as she's fully patched up, you see that the stain on the bandage isn't black. It's red.
Oh.
And she touches and goes, oh, fuck.
What does that mean?
He got enough of me. And on the horizon, you hear a boom, and the sky goes black. And that's where we're going to end the second to last episode.
Oh boy.
I hope you guys tune in to whatever we decide to do for the final episode of Outlaws of the Seven.
Okay. Not sure how we're gonna... Okay. Hey, Gigi's not dead yet. That's good.
Gigi's not dead.
I don't know if we're gonna have resting time to make her less or more nice.
I mean, like,
isn't
we need
dead.
it.
To anybody who wasn't here at the very beginning, we have shortened the series down from 8 episodes to 7 episodes. We're not entirely sure how we're going to be putting out the next episode, whether it's going to be live streamed on here, rerun done here from a pre-recorded, or if we're going to have to put it somewhere else. We have a lot of complicated scheduling stuff behind the scenes, so we're going to try and figure out the final episode.
I can do an abbreviated version of the same thing I did at the beginning on scheduling. Yeah. Okay, so the plan for scheduling, we're going to officially sort of talk about this like right when we go off and lock everything down, and then we'll communicate it to you guys. But the next main canon episode of this, we don't know exactly what week it's going to be on. We're going to work on that. But we are hoping to pre-record it and then air it on Twitch, same time, same place. So for you guys, it'll just be like normal. It's just we won't like see chat because it'll be pre-recorded, but it should look the same to you guys. Tomorrow, normally I have my game show that I do on Saturdays, but by fortunate coincidence, we have a gap week tomorrow. So I am going to be doing a rerun of this episode, the episode that we did tonight, tomorrow, probably starting also around 6 p.m. Central Time. So if anyone came in late and like missed the beginning or something like that, you can watch that tomorrow, but we're doing it as a tech test. I'm going to do it as a normal live stream just so that we have, as few variables as possible, but we're going to rerun this as a recording, as a tech test, and then that is how we are going to hopefully air the finale. Hopefully in between now and the finale, this is not set up yet. We are thinking about doing a one-shot also in this world, unconnected to the main storyline, like different characters, but in the same universe, just to keep it at 8. But that is the scheduling thought for now. We will communicate that to you guys in Discords and such when we have it officially locked down. So that's where we're at for scheduling there.
All right. I think that is all we need to say for this episode. I hope you guys will be able to watch the after show when it comes out.
Yes.
And I think that's where we are going to sign out for today.
All right.
Goodbye,
We will see you next episode.
See you next episode.
Date not known, but we will see you next episode.
All right.